this time. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. It's true, rates aren't as low as they have been for the past couple of years, but there are still many homeowners that could benefit from refinancing their current mortgage. There are a lot of things in life that are out of our control, but your mortgage rate is not one of them. If you currently have an adjustable rate mortgage, then you owe it to yourself to give us a call.
Adjustable rate mortgages make sense for some people in stable markets, but in this wild, ever-changing rate environment, it only makes sense to secure a fixed interest rate. A fixed interest rate will give you the peace of mind that your rate is locked. Your rate will not be subject to change with the political and economic tides.
At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can personalize your term. We offer 8-year to 30-year mortgages and everything in between. Grab your mortgage statement and give us a call.
Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36A, Equal Housing Lender.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Conduct yourself in a democracy.
This is a Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist cookies.
In politics, man must learn to rise above principle. After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Good morning, or I should say good afternoon. We've crossed that threshold into the afternoon. Overcast day here in Montgomery, Alabama. Yeah, something we were talking about a little bit on Friday that got my attention, and I started thinking about it and wanted to write about it. I used to resent, maybe I still do, but I used to resent rote memorization at my boyhood Catholic school. I always wanted to know the why of something, you know? Get to the heart of the matter rather than the surface. I especially resented putting something to memory because some teacher, mediocre adult, or priest, don't get me started on them, because some teacher or priest said so. Whether it be multiplication tables, random dates in history, or even the prayers of the rosary. Yet as a good little student, I would do it anyway, eventually discovering how to memorize a subject just enough to ace the test, only to quickly jettison the information from my memory bank soon after. I learned how to wield information to my situational advantage while never really learning the information itself. Some subjects stuck, usually the things that actually interested me, but most subjects I treated as garbage in, garbage out. Though not exactly admirable, this technique of learning to soon forget proved useful as I progressed through college. Today, it's an essential skill in the talk radio business. What's more, this technique of learning to soon forget meshes nicely with the technological progress happening all around me. Why memorize much of anything when the information is always right at my fingertips? After all, progress, in a technological sense, often means forgetting what everyone once knew, as old ways give way to new. For instance, how many of you reading this know how to grow your own food? How many of you listening would know where to even begin? I suspect few, maybe some of you. But I bet most of you would have a very hard time remembering how to produce your own food or hunt for your food, whatever your pick, if you ever even knew it in the first place. And why would you? The more specialized knowledge and skills a society gains, the more the individual is free to forget and rely on systems of which he is mostly ignorant. In our increasingly complex technological society, there is simply too much information for any one person to know. But the beauty of modern technological progress is that someone or something in the system does know, or is at least working on it, prepared to furnish the ignorant individual with ready-made answers. Just think of the digital garden being built right before our eyes with accelerating haste. Every earthly delight, or depravity, is just a few taps of the screen away. Every insight is ready to be summoned in the palm of your hand. Even if you forget too much, even if you never took the time to learn much of anything at all, you can always find some ready-made answer right at your fingertips. Soon the system may progress enough to do your thinking for you. Algorithms and artificial intelligence swiftly anticipating and curating whatever you may choose, if it hasn't already. What progress? Less to memorize, like how many of phone numbers do you remember anymore? And much less to do. Here's to more robots taking more of our jobs soon. Yet something feels off. Like a prayer rote memorized and parroted only to be forgotten in silence. Progress often means forgetting what everyone once knew as old ways give way to new. Yet progress can also mean remembering what has always been true. Some things should never be forgotten or outsourced to any system outside of you. Some things must be known by heart, etched in soul, ready to shape and strengthen a man against his own proclivity to wickedness or any man-made system of control. What a man has by heart cannot be touched and not be taken away. Caught up in a system where everything is just a few taps away, what a man truly loves is what he puts to heart. I still resent rote memorization, yet I resent myself more for treating my memory like that of a machine, swift to learn techniques that help me forget soon after the momentary need. Just because something has been memorized doesn't mean it's written on the heart, but what you put to heart can never be taken away from you, not even by you. There's much I memorized from my Catholic school days. Much I tried to forget, much I tried to take away. Much that I would say aloud for years without meaning a word, followed by years where the words got so quiet they could not be heard until they seemed forgotten in silence. Yet of late, I find the words have returned. And despite my worst efforts, are still written on my heart. Our Father, who art in heaven.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians. But we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Well, folks, it was not on my 2025 Politico bingo card. I was not expecting to see on this season of the United States of America Donald Trump calling Sydney Sweeney hot. Did not expect that. Of course, Sydney Sweeney, and I'm looking at one photo of her here, and how can you not talk about him or her? But everybody's talking about this ad. And of course, the president of the United States has now gotten in on the game, in particular on Sydney Sweeney's great genes. Trump, of course, spelling her name wrong, says Sydney Sweeney, a registered Republican, has the hottest ad out there. It's for American Eagle, and the jeans are flying off the shelves. Go get them, Sydney. Again, he's spelling her name incorrectly, but Trump goes on to say, on the other side of the ledger, Jaguar did a stupid and seriously woke advertisement that is a disaster. The CEO just resigned. The company is in turmoil. Shouldn't they have learned a lesson from Bud Light, which went woke and essentially destroyed in a short but very woke campaign the company? The market cap destruction has been unprecedented. Billions of dollars lost. Or just look at woke singer Taylor Swift. Ever since I alerted the world as to what she was saying on Truth, that I can't stand her. So Trump jumping into the latest as the vice president, J.D. Vance, mocks Democrats for outrage over the Sydney Sweeney jeans ad. This is the serious, hard-hitting stuff you expect from your elected officials. This is the serious, hard-hitting stuff you expect from us hawk show toes. But it is serious, I suppose, in a way. It is a bit of a shift. It isn't the same left-wing woke stuff being shoved down your throat. It's just a really hot chick in a well-crafted ad. It's the jeans. It's those things. It's her. She is the total package. But of course, you're now seeing folks online saying, I'm so tired of the right-wing politics being shoved down my throat in all sorts of the culture and media. wouldn't it be nice if we lived in a world where you didn't have to worry about politics at all? But of course, it always injects itself into the conversation when so much power is given to the political elite. That said, how can you be in a bad mood if you're a red-blooded American male, especially, to see that the talk of the town is this bombshell, this woman who has fireworks on the 4th, and her great genes? But of course, Trump has also touched on some political matters as well. He's hitting India with big tariffs. This is, of course, over India continuing to buy Russian oil as a last-second Hail Mary pass. In this case, Trump is throwing his special envoy and longtime friend Steve Witkoff to go meet with Putin in Moscow, as Trump shortened the deadline of making a deal to like 10 days to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. Of course, there are a lot of folks saying Russia doesn't respond to things like that very kindly. Trump getting in a bit of a flame war with the former president, Medvedev, who's a real piece of work, bringing up the dead hand like it's Dr. Strangelove. But now Trump has come out and said, India is not only buying massive amounts of Russian oil, they are then, for much of the oil purchased, selling it on the open market for big profits. They don't care how many people in Ukraine are killed by the Russian war machine. Because of this, I will be substantially raising the tariff paid by India to the USA. Thank you for your matter to this attention, or your attention to this matter, President DJT. So the tariffs going up. And in fact, tariffs are at an incredible high watermark, historically speaking, highest they've been since the 1930s. Now, this seems to have shown up in a big GDP number in this last quarter, but also a miserable jobs report, which apparently it's not only ads for jeans on the TV or online, it's also your nerd stuff. And by nerd stuff, I mean the statistical analysis done by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Even that is political. You can't even count on the nerds anymore. To just be straight up, it's like, my numbers. Don't touch my numbers. I want some eunuch back there who doesn't vote for a single political party, that's never donated to politics. That's who I want running my BLS, my Bureau of Labor Statistics. I want somebody who is ridiculously obsessed, in love with numbers, doesn't care a lick about politics, doesn't care a lick about Sydney Sweeney or her great genes. It's just, oh, I love my numbers. I'm going to get these numbers so right, and then I'm going to get them right again the next month. But we don't have that. Not even the nerds now can be apolitical. What has happened to this great country? When the nerds get political, this is a bad sign. So, of course, there's a lot of back and forth over, are the books being cooked by whoever's running the Bureau of Labor Statistics? Of course, that person who was running it has been fired. Of course, the Democrats are now crying foul over this. But it seems everything is now political. And yet, despite Trump raising tariffs, despite Trump shutting down, it might be the first time in 50 years we have a net reduction in migration into the United States because of how secure the border is and how deportation efforts are running up. Despite all these moves, Trump's popularity isn't to the moon, but he's also nowhere near as bad as the Democratic Party is at the moment. And every time you see folks that are past leaders of the Democratic Party rip their head, like Chuck Schumer recently did, in regards to Kevin Hassett, who's the top economic advisor for the president. Hassett defending Trump firing that nerd who was running BLS. And of course, Schumer had to open up his mouth that Kevin Hassett should never get anywhere near the Federal Reserve. I suppose that's because Hassett's name's been thrown around to be the new chairman of the Federal Reserve once Jerome Powell actually gets out of town. And of course, I've got a clip where Hassett's responding saying, well, I'm sure Trump will fire me immediately. That's how highly he thinks of Chuck Schumer. But I think the proper response from Trump, and it would have to come from Trump. It's a little crass coming from me, but imagine Trump saying it. It should be Trump's response. Throw it out on Truth Social. Hey, Chuck Schumer, shut your whore mouth. shut your whore mouth. Because that's what you are, a glorified whore. The power and special interest. That's how you got into that top position. You should tell them that. Shut your whore mouth and now watch this great ad. The hottest ad around by Sydney Sweeney. So there's silly stuff, there's serious stuff, everything under the sun seems political. Of course, there is also breakthroughs or more breakdowns, not really breakthroughs, more breakdowns in the Russiagate uncovering. And of course, Russiagate has all sorts of folks talking. There's an old interview done in December of 2016 after Trump shocks the world. It's an NPR interview with Barack Obama, the sitting president at the time. And you can see this is before Obama orders and gets a brand new intelligence community assessment saying, oh yeah, the Russians were all in for Trump. You can see actually he just got the assessment, and this has all been unveiled by Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence. The declassification of the classified annex of the Durham investigation is well out there. This is right after Obama gets that initial intelligence assessment. And you can tell he's not happy with it, and he's laying the groundwork, laying the predicate for the 2-year coup that we all witnessed that luckily failed. Though in many ways, you could say it's probably the mother that birthed the war between Russia and Ukraine. At least didn't help. That sentiment in the United States of, yeah, we can stick it to the Russians, it didn't help in avoiding war. But on this question, Alabama's own, soon to be Alabama's governor, within a year or so, Coach Tuberville, calls for Obama and Clinton to stand trial for treason for alleged roles in Russiagate hoax. They all should go to jail, says Coach. Now, I don't know if it's technically treason or is it more seditious conspiracy? Is it a conspiracy against the government? Yeah, but we don't have to be so exact. I think the founders are wise to define treason in a very, very narrow way because everybody was being hung and guillotined and whatever for treason for hundreds of years. And treason could be like, oh, you said a mean word or you didn't flatter me enough. It could be almost any trumped up charge, no pun intended. Now, treason is very specifically, I think it's the only law, if not one of the few, defined in the Constitution, whereas aiding and abetting an enemy of the United States. What it seems like Obama and team did, Obama, John Brennan, James Clapper, Susan Rice, and so many others playing their part in the FBI and the intelligence community, as well as so many, say, intelligence assets who fancy themselves journalists. But actually, they really are the journalists. The real journalists are the ones working for the agency. They're all caught up in this. And it seems more like they were up to seditious conspiracy, if anything, not treason. But I see where Coach is coming from. Absolutely see where Coach is coming from. Our other senator from the great state of Alabama up there in Washington, D.C., saying it's a slap in the face to every American citizen. Katie Britt leads bill to ban illegal aliens from voting in D.C. elections. It is a bit of a slap in the face. What is citizenship even worth now? Seems like everybody gets it. Everybody can vote. It's not like the local elections in the District of Columbia matter, like a purely federal institution for the most part. Yeah, I'm in the camp of Congress should just take over the district again. Enough of this fake municipal idea. Like, just make it Congress's town, let Congress run the place. Because right now, I look at the fake municipal system they have, and a lot to be desired. A lot could be improved. So I'm just doing a quick rundown here. In a second, Troy Carrico will be joining the program, and we'll jump into these issues in a little more detail. What's more in the news is Democrats are getting horrible new polls. So as much as they try to take on Trump and they find the little errors, I think the biggest target they had was the unforced error by Trump on the Epstein thing. But they'll yell and scream about everything, so we're already off the Epstein stuff. Well, actually, no, a lot of us still want to see what are you up to? Why was Ghislaine Maxwell just moved to a different facility? Is she going to be alive in the next week? Is she feeling suicidal? We don't know. We don't know. But in other news, the Democrats really are having a tough time rebranding. Horrible new polls. Every time Chuck Schumer opens his whore mouth, or some other member of the Democrats open their whore mouth, everybody kind of goes, ew, gross, shut up, hooker. And, of course, we mean this all politically. I hope y'all aren't trading money for sex. That's a whole other level. Maybe, in a way, it might be more wholesome than the politics y'all do. That's not what I mean. I'll rein it in. I'll rein it in. So they're trying to rebrand. They're all retreating, by the way, on the Green New Deal. That seems to be very unpopular these days. In fact, the idea of energy dominance, producing more energy, producing more natural gas, more nuclear plants, more clean coal. Yes, trying to advance on solar, especially with battery technology, all this stuff seems all the rage. A top-down centralized control of the entire United States economy in the name of saving the planet or something. Yeah, it doesn't seem all that popular these days. And of course, the big fight in Texas is a sign of the times, and I think another sign of how absurd sometimes our so-called democracy is. That before you ever vote, the politicians you once voted for have to redraw the lines of where and who you can vote for. It's called redistricting. And there's a big fight going on in Texas, a big push that would give the GOP even more advantages and more seats in the House of Representatives. The Democrats there in Texas have decided to leave town, so a quorum could not be presented. And now you have the governor there, Governor Abbott, threatening to arrest these people if they don't show back up soon because they are in dereliction of their duty as elected members to the Texas legislature. And that is just a microcosm, one laboratory of democracy, so-called, in Texas. Because the Supreme Court is now signaling interest in a major voting rights case that could affect Alabama. Of course, the brand new District 2, it ended up going to Shamari Figures, added another Democrat to the mix from the great state of Alabama, but this is all court-ordered. This is not the map Republicans in the state of Alabama actually wanted. And now the Supreme Court has indicated it may take up Louisiana v. Calais, or however you say it, a case challenging the use of race-based redistricting in congressional maps. Of course, this outcome of the case could carry major nationwide implications, including the possibility of redrawing dozens of House districts and shifting the political landscape ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. On Friday, the court invited the U.S. Solicitor General to weigh in on the case, a move that legal experts say often signals serious interest in granting review. At the center of the case is whether Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act permits the race-conscious creation of congressional districts, a practice commonly used to ensure that racial minority populations can elect candidates of their choice. The case, of course, originated in Louisiana, where plaintiffs challenged the state's current congressional map, arguing that it improperly emphasizes race when drawing boundaries. Currently, Louisiana has 6 congressional districts, 4 for Republicans, 2 for Democrats. Both Democratic seats are majority black districts. If the court rules broadly and restricts the use of race in redistricting, the decision could prompt changes to maps in multiple states, including the great state of Alabama. According to political analysts, the ripple effect could result in Republicans gaining as many as 20 to 25 seats in the House, depending on how other states respond with new district maps. Election law scholars and political strategists say the case has the potential to significantly limit how Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act is applied. Of course, that provision prohibits voting practices or procedures that discriminate on the basis of race and has been a central legal tool in the creation of majority-minority districts. On Friday, Politico reported the court's move may signal a willingness to further narrow the Voting Rights Act and described the potential ruling as one that could affect far more than Louisiana. Oh, you better believe it. And there is a bit of a double standard here. Like, look at Democrat-dominated California. Even in Democrat-dominated California, about 40% of their general elections go to Republicans. 40% of the population votes Republican. Is 40% of the population represented, say, 40% of their congressional delegation is Republican? Hell no. Because Democrats run that state, they draw the districts to where Democrats will always run that state. But apparently, if you're a Republican, and in particular, if you're from the South, you can't draw districts to where Republicans always run the state. Instead, we have to take it on the basis of race, even if the map is not discriminating on the basis of race. It just seems to have a disparate impact in the outcome after the fact, even though we had one minority majority district for years with Terry Sewell that was pre-cleared by the Justice Department. Now that Alabama had to actually do it themselves, it wasn't pre-cleared. It opened up saying, no, you need 2 because you're discriminating on the basis of race. I'm like, well, all those years where the federal DOJ was using the Voting Rights Act to say you just needed 1, like the double standards, the multiple standards that are out there do need to be cleaned up. And in many ways, these laws, these rulings as well around these laws are old. Of course, they're going to be revisited. And of course, as much as folks want to find some like moral standard to stand behind, some ideal that can come up with a fair way to settle once and for all the issue of gerrymandering and redistricting, I think you're going to find at the end of the day, it's an inherently political process. And that before you ever can vote, the people you once voted for, maybe you never did, have to draw when and where you can vote. And of course, they're going to try to benefit themselves. What a mess. But it could have massive implications here for the great state of Alabama. So let's continue to watch that Supreme Court case. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And their River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his fantastic team are ready to help you with your roof. You know, your home is one of, if not the biggest long-term investment that you're ever going to have in your life. For most folks, it's the most expensive and long-term investment in life. And a major part of your home is that roof. So whether it's an asphalt, shingle roof, metal roof, should be inspected every 3 to 5 years for preventative maintenance. Like per the manufacturer, most asphalt shingles, for instance, only last 12 to 18 years without an inspection. And, 3 to 5 years is a good timetable. That's a good way to stay on top of it, have that preventative maintenance. But why not do it on an annual basis, especially with the storms and the changing of the weather, everything that runs through here in Alabama? And here's the great news. Those inspections at River Region Contracting are always free. They'll come out, inspect, they ain't going to charge you a dime. And if they do find an issue, they'll write up an estimate for free, sit down with you to your heart's desire and explain, here's the problem, here's exactly how we're going to fix it. They show up on time, they do the job well, they don't leave a big mess behind. And if you're worried about that insurance company, well, they're insurance specialists there at River Region Contracting. So Todd and the team can walk you through that claims process and make it a swift and easy experience. So check them out today. There's a lot of reason folks have been calling River Region Contracting the premier roofing contractor here in the area. Call them today at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. Be sure to tell Todd Clark and the great team there at River Region Contracting that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Want that ride that is fun, affordable, and street legal? Check out ETG Outdoors in Montgomery. They have huge discounts on electric golf carts with many brand new units under 10 grand. New and used inventory, financing available, and they service what they sell. ETG Outdoors even provides lithium battery conversions and free delivery with purchase. Whether it's for the neighborhood, the farm, or just fun, ETG Outdoors, 7006 Vaughn Road, or online at etgoutdoors.com. Cruise smarter, drive electric. ETG Outdoors. Your ride to freedom starts here.
Alpha Mutual Insurance Company seeks a corporate business analyst for employment based in Montgomery, Alabama. Remote work is permitted in states where company operates. Position supports development and implementation of technology initiatives and analyzes requirements, constructs workflow charts and diagrams, understands system capabilities, and writes specifications. Position requires demonstrated knowledge of computer concepts and applications, basic statistics, computer science, software development life cycles, project delivery and acceptance process, and user interface wireframes. Offered annual salary is $61,277. Apply at bit.ly/4 OELQRT.
Is foot pain holding you back? Visit the Good Feet store for a free personalized fitting and test walk.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Tropical downpours and cooler temperatures highlight the weather news. Mostly cloudy today with a high temperature up to about 81. That's the coolest day since May 31st. Low tonight down to about 70. Scattered to numerous showers and storms, especially by this afternoon and this evening. More slow-moving tropical downpours. In fact, that'll be a continuous theme for most of this week. Tuesday's high temperature only up to about 83, and we may be in the 80s right on through Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. And joining me now in studio, the one, the only Troy Carrico. How you doing today?
Man, I'm outstanding. I just came back from a VA appointment. Just a excellent study in government healthcare, you know?
Oh, yeah. We can get into that later if you want to.
I think we got enough to talk about
You
today.
do have a microphone in front of you now.
I do.
Do you have
Now
any
I can
complaints?
rant.
It's not like it'll change anything, but we can complain.
You know, honestly, I tell people I get good service. It's like anything. It just depends on who you're dealing with. What is it when you have an organization? It's people, and some people good, some people bad. But today I had a really good experience with our occupational therapist.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we got a few calls rolling in here.
I saw that.
Some of the usual suspects. Hey, Soldier Boy, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
What's
how you doing, Troy?
Man, I'm outstanding. How are you? Happy Monday.
Good, man. Using that VA. I've been using TRICARE. I guess you didn't retire.
No, I met it out after getting another wound. So,
yeah, because I tell you one thing, TRICARE has been very, very helpful. It's called TRICARE East.
Yes,
They get certain regions.
Yep.
And they've been really good. Once they found out there was some mistakes going on, they corrected them, and I was really impressed.
Yeah, I have friends that have it that retired from it, and yeah, they say it's pretty good. And you got to.
Well, you know why I think it is too, and they tell me too.
What's that?
A lot of their relatives and friends are prior military.
Well, that
so
helps.
It has a connection. Oh, we know how you feel. You know, my father used to be in the military. My uncle used to be in the military. You know, and that's that little connection there.
Mm-hmm. What's on your mind today?
Well, what's not in my mind? Let's talk about the subs, man.
Okay.
The subs out there patrolling around. It's so funny they keep saying nuclear subs. I said we don't run diesels anymore. So
you know what I think, Soldier Boy. When I read that, and I'll be interested to get your take on it, and Joey, yours. When I read it, when they said nuclear subs, I thought they meant the ones carrying the the tridents and all those. Yeah. That's what I thought, because you're right. We don't really run diesel anymore.
We don't run diesel anymore.
Well, and also I think it's just a flex because like this is one of the more classified things in the military where those things are.
It is probably the most important part of our nuclear deterrent of the triad.
I was going to say exactly that, Troy. It's the most important of all our weaponry. I mean, it's the ability to be mobile, different directions.
Amen.
And that it reminds me of a Hunt or Red October. What a great movie!
That's
huh?
a great movie. That was a great movie.
Oh man, when they had a type in, man, they're pumping out, and that black communicator, he says, "What do you hear?" And he says, "Sounds like a bunch of fish, man."
Have you ever seen? It's a few years old now, but the guy does Smarter Every Day. They let him on. I can't remember what class, but let him on a submarine, and like he stayed down there for a week filming it.
Wow!
And like, man, how those guys live for months at a time, if not longer, is remarkable.
So what we call
the famous basketball player played in Annapolis.
Yeah.
What's his name? Robinson. David Robinson.
Dave Robinson.
Now, I don't know how the hell he got in that damn sub.
He didn't stay in there very long. They let him go play.
let me, because we went to Naval, was it Roosevelt Roads Naval Air Station down there in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Yeah. Man, you talk about the clearest, most beautiful water. Oh, God. Oh, man. Okay, so next thing I know, we took them on some incentive flights on our 135 KC refuelers.
Right.
Keeps getting modified. We haven't got new ones, but we just keep putting new engines on it.
Yeah, they got one in the works, but it ain't deployed yet. So,
well, here's another thing too: is we're the only one. I didn't know that we're the only ones that have aircraft carriers.
Yeah, well, there are some other aircraft carriers, but they're menial compared to ours. I'm talking about China.
I know that technology is so freaking far behind. But when I went to that sub, so I go down to the sub, and the ladder goes straight down, and it's this black hole. He says, "Don't worry, Sarge. You just walk your way down." I say, "That's like a damn ladder. That ain't no steps."
It is a ladder. You're right.
Well, and you're a tall man, right? So this is a squeeze.
Well, it's when you're 6'5", it's not a place you want to be.
No, it's like a tank. So you don't want to be in a tank either.
Oh my God! So the next thing I know, man, I'm looking around. I see in the beds, and then the bed's like 2 inches from your nose to the next person's bed. Yeah. And I said, you know what? They deserve every reenlistment bonus they can get.
So we call you know what we call them, right? They're called bubbleheads. Right? You've heard that term. Yep. Bubbleheads are nuclear submariners. And the reason they call them bubbleheads is because they stay down as long as their supplies will allow them to. And just bubbles come up, basically.
Well, the nuclear capabilities allow them, their air conditioning units and everything can stay underneath the water. Where the diesels had to come up and get air.
They sure did.
Well, Soldier Boy, I got a few other calls behind you. Before I let you go, let me ask you something. What should Chuck Schumer do?
Shut his mouth.
Shut his mouth. Okay.
Shut his pie hole, right?
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks, Soldier Boy.
All right, Soldier Boy.
Let's go to Sam. Hey, Sam, what's on your mind today?
Just had some oxygen. Was feeling kind of chatty. No, man. Troy, this is great time, and I'm glad you're there to back me up on this and help me out. Joy mentioned Washington, D.C., the federal city earlier.
Yes.
And, I was wondering, about a week ago, I had that thought, when is ICE going to go up in D.C.? And but I don't know the rules. I've seen like the PBS special about the D.C. and just my personal going to D.C. back and forth. I got some of the huge projects, housing. I call everything a project, but there's housing there that's just on a scale beyond anything.
It really is. It really is. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I've talked myself into a corner. I've lost all my questions
about DC.
No, you were talking about ICE. You were talking about ICE and
yes. That's it. Has anybody heard anything? Or like I said, our capital city. Good and bad.
Well, I worked. This is funny. I worked on K Street in a Chinatown area over at the U.S. Mint as their deputy CIO, and I came and went a lot to the headquarters of USACE, which is U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, from Winchester, and I spent a lot of time in the Beltway and inside Crystal City, inside D.C., and it's just what's weird about it. The city, I swear to you, Joey, it is big city up till about 4 p.m. and then it goes horizontal down to vertical. It's like nobody's there. Yeah. It's like a ghost town. And on weekends, it's really weird because it's just it's a strange place. It really is. But into what you're saying about enforcement of ICE, I can tell you this. A good friend of mine who is a retired Customs Border Patrol guy said there is a massive recruiting campaign underway right now. And they're signing big bonuses. And
I saw that.
Yeah. So that's promising. I think this isn't going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah. And I'm for not just federal law enforcement in DC. Like I'm for the Congress taking it back.
Absolutely.
Like run the city like they're actually in charge of it. Yeah, Sam, before I let you go, what's your Chuck Schumer do?
Yes, sir. Chuck Schumer should shut his whore mouth.
Thank you, Sam. All right. You did it right.
Paying him to speak. We're paying him to shut his mouth. Hey, listen, one last thing. All the submariners, mariners, we get in the country. submariners that I've known, they all said the same thing. Everything was fine until the fresh milk ran out.
That's right. And you ever heard of hot bunking? You know what hot bunking is? You got to share a bunk with somebody. So you're right on.
What makes it hot?
Because the body's still warm. The body's when you get in there, it's still warm. Buddy.
In the summertime, in the swamp, and we rotating out doing guard. That's it.
Hey, so check it out. I got a joke for you real fast. Hey, Sam.
Yes,
a nuclear sub goes down. There's 100 single sailors. 50 happy couples come back.
Man, listen.
I'll be here all week.
Who can explain love? Yeah. So I'll talk to you soon. Thank y'all.
All right, brother.
Let's go to line 3 and talk to Papa B. Hey, Papa B.
Hey. Boy, I'm glad he's you on there, bud.
Man, you know what? That's 3. I'm 3 for 3. Papa B, you just made it 3 for 3 of our callers saying, "I'm glad I'm here." That makes me feel good.
I'm telling you. Well, you said something last week that really has stuck with me, and I've been thinking about it. It's not something you don't know.
What?
It's something that's worth stating, and worth stating in a way that you can really think about it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I've thought about over the years. The law of unintended consequences. buddy. Don't we have enough of those?
Yes, sir.
And one of the things that you were pointing out is, I believe it was you were talking about, weren't you talking about the plants and all the factories and everything that left? Is that you? Was that you talking about that?
I
might have been Brian.
It might have been Brian. Yeah,
it might have been Brian.
Yeah, we talk about that.
Rate, so here's the law of unintended consequences. We have all these people now that are without a job.
Mm-hmm.
They are on the government roll. They don't have anything better to do than to sit around and make babies and smoke pot.
That's true.
Worthless types of individuals. Well, the unintended consequence is this. These kinds of jobs gave some people something to do. It gave them something to do. They might not be ambitious like we are to the point of wanting to get out and try to, turn the world upside down with a new idea. But they can go to work and do something. Yeah, we're paying too much for stocks. Okay, compared to the rest. But then on the other end, do you want them charging too much for stocks, or do you want to have them laying around making babies all day long and generally being worthless? You know what I'm saying? So the law of unintended consequences, you've got to look at. This is a cost to our society that people just didn't think about.
There's always a second and third and fourth order of effect when you look at something. That's what I was taught in the military. How does this action create the undulations of ripples beyond? And it's hard to prognosticate, but that one kind of. Well,
and there were a few folks at that time who said, no, NAFTA in particular is a really, really bad idea, and it's going to do just what they predicted.
You ain't kidding.
It affected this area for certain.
No question of it. But the South Central, the southern region of the United States, Sun Belt, but even in the Rust Belt, that too. Shipping all these jobs overseas. Looking back on it, it just really was a very bad idea. I mean, we're going to have to either pay more or subsidize more. We can't do both. So anyway.
They weren't. I don't think it's unintended. I think they weren't even thinking about it. They don't care. They were like, we can just offshore this to China.
Sure.
We can outsource all sorts of stuff to China, including medical research. It might blow up in our face with a worldwide epidemic or pandemic. And I don't think they really gave a damn about the average American.
I don't think they did.
No, they didn't. And in fact, they gave what they really had in mind was them making money.
It was the bottom line. It was the bottom line.
The deals that were struck on the behalf of the well-connected and they were the ones that made the money. I mean, they are rolling in it right now because of that. They sold the American people down the drain. What was that South Park They took our job.
Yeah.
So I think I shared this story with you guys before, but I'll say it again because it bears mentioning. My mother worked 18 years for Delphi in Dayton, Ohio, at an airbag assembly plant, and that was back when Clinton was in office. And they came in one day and said, "Hey, we're moving our operations to Mexico. You can take a severance, but you're not going to qualify for the full retirement thing." And I remember thinking about it. And then years later, I buy a Chevy Avalanche in like 2004, and I'm looking at the components of it, and like 40% of it was made in Mexico. And I'm thinking, yeah,
this is really also like more economically efficient.
Sure.
But Bobby, I got to run before I go. What should Chuck Schumer do?
Shut your mouth.
Okay. Some of y'all cleaning it up. I appreciate it.
Whore mouth.
It's 'cause that's what he is.
He's a whore.
Chuck is, man, what a big political whore, that guy.
He's a man whore.
Let's go to line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, Randall.
How you doing?
Good.
How you doing, Troy?
I better not deserve, brother. How are you?
Good. And my mama too. She the company she worked for, they shipped out to Mexico, and they paid her to go down there and sit it up. She went and sit up.
Really?
Other people, other people, you know, and got it ready for them.
Man,
she was without a job.
What would she do? What did she do? What kind of company was it?
It was a manufacturing company.
Okay.
I can't remember what.
Okay.
Yeah.
They manufactured. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And I want to talk about the carrier ship, because China has got 3 carrier ships that's got electromagnetic launchers on
propulsion system.
Yeah. And their planes, their jets are so small that they can launch a jet as many times as we can shoot a missile with one of ours.
Yeah.
And they got the speed in their corner and
Randall, I want you to consider this. EMS, the electromagnetic system that they have on their carriers. Just let's walk this dog with me for a minute. Okay. I've talked to a lot of high-ranking people in the Navy. We looked at that for 20 years, and we have a form of it, but it's a very, very, very touchy system. And I would argue under duress, and you're launching a lot, you're going to have a lot of failures, and you're not going to be able to launch those planes off of there with that. That's what's really kind of set us apart. Now, you're right. They are a near peer adversary, and they are fast approaching our technological gaps that we have developed over time. But I want to say this to you. There's been no experience in combat by any of their commanders, any of their officers. And trust me on this. Combat experience matters. We got Navy guys out there that have had drone attacks, had, all sorts of things going. They fought. They know how to fight. I'm telling you that all that equipment in the world, all that technology they may have, when push comes to shove and you get into the fur balls, we call it, Randall, that's when things can go really, really south. So I think we're going to need to get our nose bloodied with them. I really do. I think we're going to have to get punched. And then we'll see what happens from there.
I was going to say, if something big broke out between the U.S. and China, I don't think I want to be on a Chinese or an American aircraft carrier, let's just say.
No, this is a whole different game. Yeah.
But Randall, I apprate the call, man. I got to run. Hey, by the way, what should Chuck Schumer do?
Shut his mouth.
Good to hear from you, Randall.
Thanks, Randall. Yeah. This part of the program brought to you by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. Oh, man. I'm looking at their website right now, smokehousepitbbq.com.
Yeah.
Man, I could eat some.
Listen,
of this
I almost sent Robin. She dropped me off today. I almost sent her up there to get it. You want me to send her up there? She said she'll go.
Like we should do it on a day where.
Okay, we did. Let's do a plan because I got to have this. I got to have this stuff.
Because I just saw on the photo gallery, like it's a big old bowl of they don't call them cheese grits, they call it grit cheese. That's how much cheese is in these things. Like with some sunny side up eggs, a little fresh tomato on the side, some thick cut bacon, a big old biscuit. Ooh, that looks good.
That's a breakfast right
But
there.
I'm also looking at a big old steak. Of course, they can get you ribs. They can get you pulled pork sandwiches. They can get you camp stew.
Man.
And I tried the other day some desserts. The strawberry shortcake.
Is it good?
Oh, you know how you eat with your eyes? It was presented beautifully.
You're drooling as you're getting.
Oh, yeah. Like perfectly little puffs of whipped cream on either side of it. And it was so tasty, so fresh strawberries.
Outstanding.
So, folks, whether you're looking for breakfast, they do that Tuesday through Sunday starting at 6:30 in the morning. or you're looking for that great meat and three, true down home Southern meat and three that they do every day for lunch, or say on the evenings, especially in the weekend, you want to get a great dinner on a Friday or a Saturday night and enjoy some live entertainment, get an adult libation, eat you some good barbecue. Go check them out today. Again, that's Smokehouse Pit Barbecue, Main Street in Millbrook, and be sure to tell them that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Governor Greg Abbott said the Texas House Democrats have until 3 p.m. local time to return to the State House for the special session on redistricting or risk losing their jobs. Texas Attorney General Kim Paxton suggested Democrats who left should be arrested and forcibly brought back. About 3,200 Boeing workers at facilities in St. Louis and other locations have voted to reject a modified 4-year labor agreement. A tropical storm churning in the western Atlantic Ocean, but forecasters say it's expected to move away from the U.S. coast and stay north of Bermuda. Tropical Storm Dexter, the fourth named storm of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. On Wall Street, stocks have been sharply higher, the Dow up 548 points. This is SRN News.
Hi, Mike Gallagher here. As the summer heats up, so do the bills. If you're like a lot of folks, you're not selling your home anytime soon, but that equity you've built, just sitting there. That's why I trust Mike and Brian at Fellowship Home Loans. Love this place. It's in their name, their DNA. They're the team I've used personally, and they treat every client like family. Fellowship Home Loans. They know how to help you tap into your home's value wisely, whether that's a HELOC or a cash-out refi. Fellowship is a direct lender and operates with your best interest in mind. Maybe it's time to finally knock out that renovation, pay off some debt, or just add a little cushion to your retirement account. With rates still reasonable and inflation squeezing all of us, your home might be the smartest financial tool you've got right now. So if you're staying put this summer, make your home work for you. Visit my friends at Fellowship Home Loans, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 8193.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Tropical downpours and cooler temperatures highlight the weather news. Mostly cloudy today with a high temperature up to about 81. That's the coolest day since May 31st. Low tonight down to about 70. Scattered to numerous showers and storms, especially by this afternoon and this evening. More slow-moving tropical downpours. In fact, that'll be a continuous theme for most of this week. Tuesday's high temperature only up to about 83, and we may be in the 80s right on through Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A Montgomery man has been sentenced to more than 6 years in federal prison for illegal gun possession. 22-year-old Calvin Griffin received a total of 81 months for possession of a gun by a felon. Griffin was arrested August 28th when police observed him entering a Carmichael Road hotel room carrying an AR-style pistol. Montgomery police have identified the body found in East Montgomery Tuesday afternoon. Officers were called to the 9100 block of East Chase Parkway around 2 p.m. where they found an unresponsive man who was pronounced dead at the scene. That man is now identified as 47-year-old Jeremy Walker. A death investigation is ongoing. A Montgomery teenager has been killed in a single-vehicle crash in Chilton County. The 17-year-old was driving a car that left County Road 16 and overturned. The teenager was not using a seatbelt and was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim's name has not yet been released. The accident happened Saturday evening about 2 miles north of Plantersville. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
When lunchtime rolls around, head to the place everyone's raving about, Epicure.
serving up meat and 3 specials and a gourmet burger menu every Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 3. You'll love the freshly made salads, the generous portions, and yes, the prices. There's even a $10.99 senior special. This isn't just lunch, it's family-owned goodness, cooked fresh every day with recipes that keep folks coming back again and again. Epicure, big flavor, big portions, and big smiles.
Hi, this is Jason with Wholesale Hunter. We've been advertising with Blue Water for a while now. We have great results with them. Appreciate everything they do with us.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. So far this year, over 2,600 homes have sold and closed in the River region. 55% of these homes sold in 60 days or less, and sellers are receiving close to 98% of listed price. Over the last year, average prices in the River region have increased over 10% from last year. We do have more inventory now to show buyers before they purchase. There are homes in all price ranges available for buyers interested in moving. As a seller, it's a great time to sell through a realtor and gain access to many buyers, not just one or two. If you are a buyer, having more homes to pick from give you better choices before you buy. Our market is now more balanced between a buyer and seller market than we've seen since 2019. Get the facts, see the inventory, get a great local lender to help you, and an agent that's going to look after your interests. For all the facts, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me.
What's going on?
And so we're looking there on the screen is the governor of Texas.
Yeah, a little shenanigans there by some of those that left the state, right?
Oh yeah, and they left because they want to redraw districts to Republicans' advantage.
I see that. Yeah,
and this again to reiterate the point I was making earlier. The Supreme Court looks like they're going to take up this Louisiana v. Calais case.
That's a big deal.
That will decide how much of these districts can be written based on race. and have drawn up based on race. And of course, Alabama was shot down.
Yeah.
Told they have to draw a second majority minority district.
That might change.
And that might very well change. Now, it all depends on the court. A lot of people were a little surprised by the initial Supreme Court ruling that told Alabama, nope, you got to go back and redraw. Yep. And the irony of everybody wailing and screaming when the pre-clearance, Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act was taken away. Alabama was pre-cleared for years. Well, the DOJ, and we had to be pre-cleared because y'all were so racist in the past that we can't let you draw your own maps. And the DOJ pre-cleared what we had for years, which was one big minority majority district with Terry Sowell, and then the rest were Republican. So it seems a little arbitrary to me, a little political, to put it mildly. And do you think Democrats that run California are fair with how they draw their map to Republicans in their state?
I think we just cast them out to the wolves.
Yeah, I saw it the other day. About most California elections, about 40% of the population votes Republican.
Sure.
And do you think that's proportionate in congressional representation?
No, it's not.
So why can't Texas say, we run the state, we're Republicans, we're not giving Democrats a fair shake? That's the whole point. We win, you lose.
For years, if you spend any time in California, and I lived in LA for a year and a half working for the Corps of Engineers, and I noticed that central, you go out, man, let me tell you, you go north of Stockton and stuff, it is farmland out there. There's a lot of Republicans, and a lot of four-wheel drives, a lot of country music. You just think of California as being, it's not. There's a lot of folks out there. Well, there's two states, I guess is what I call it. There's two states.
Yeah, well, in a way, they could be split up into multiple states and probably do just fine. It really is. The Democrats' base became the coasts. They lost the working class.
Go look at the saturation maps of blue and red, and it will blow your mind. You have a few little dots in the middle of the country that are blue, but man, it's all there.
So, but when a thing is arbitrary and just inherently political, because I can remember back to Auburn in election law class, people trying to come up with ways to solve the gerrymandering problem, which has been around since the 1800s.
Ever since we've started,
yeah, it's kind of inherent in the system. Like, who's going to draw the maps? Well, of course, it's going to be the guys that want to win.
Then the ones that are in power.
Yes. So it's a little silly acting like it's anything other than just arbitrary and political, but because it is that way, it leads to crazy. So for folks who don't know, Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued a statement warning Democrats who fled the state to deny a quorum for his redistricting push. They have until precisely 3 p.m. today, Monday, to return to their House duties or face removal from office.
Wow.
Abbott in his statement cites a 2021 Attorney General opinion. For you nerds out there, it's KP 0382 that could let him petition a court to declare their seats vacant. On top of that, he's dangling the sword of felony charges, alleging their fundraising to cover a $500 a day fines might violate bribery laws.
I like that.
Real Texans do not run from a fight, Abbott wrote. Damn. But that's exactly what most of the Texas House Democrats just did. Rather than doing their job and voting on urgent legislation affecting the lives of all Texans, they have fled Texas to deprive the House of the quorum necessary to meet and conduct business. So we're getting heated. And then the last line he put out, this truancy ends now.
I like
it. You call me a truant? What truancy?
Truant. I'm raising money.
So pretty crazy stuff.
So,
there.
You may have talked about this earlier since I was at a VA appointment. I saw something intriguing that Trump's talking about scrubbing the census, right? And all these things. There's a lot going on right now that might reshape things. I don't know if it'll be for 2026, but definitely 2028 coming up. That's going to be interesting to see what happens. So.
Oh yeah, and there's always the fight behind the scenes. Before you ever get to vote, they have to vote. They have to create all sorts of backroom deals in order before we ever get near election day. But as we look forward to, people are already looking forward to election day.
Yes.
The Democrats are still lost in the wilderness.
They're rudderless. They're a ship without a rudder. Yep.
Like, I mean, I was giving Chuck a hard time, Chuck Schumer, last hour, but like I look at Hakeem Jeffries too, and I'm like, really, you? You're not Nancy Pelosi, as wretched as that bat is, has bigger balls than you, Hakeem.
They are derelict. They are absolutely derelict. And it's because of the infighting that's come with the progressives, but it's even more complicated than that. They don't have any appeal. Their platform does not appeal to most people.
Right.
Sorry.
Well, I have an example here. There was one, and this is just the desperation sort of thing.
Yeah.
Some no-name senator. Like I'm having trouble remembering his name.
Right.
Let me pull it up. He tweeted something because Trump brought back the presidential fitness test.
Yes, I saw that.
And that's a good thing, right?
It's a great thing.
I don't know why it was taken away.
Well,
it was Obama in
That had to be
2012 or
Obama, that's
2013.
right.
And, I remember like the blue box with the ruler on top and see how far you can stretch and the long jump and the 100-yard dash, which I always won. I always won the 100-yard.
You're fast. You can run.
I did not win the 50-yard dash. I'm
But
fast,
you got
but I'm not.
You got a little more endurance.
I'm fast, but as my coach used to say, I'm not sudden. You need to get sudden, son.
You don't have that quick twitch.
Yes, and they had a little ladder to show me, like, to get the quick feet, the short strides. Don't be.
And so you won. Yeah.
It's like
Did
one
you get a medal?
coach.
Did you get a medal?
Oh yeah,
They
also did like blue ribbons and stuff back at Catholic being cheap. So I had always thought the presidential fitness test is a great idea.
That's a wonderful idea,
and I have great memories of it.
Sure.
So bringing it back is good. But this senator, his name is Jeff Merkley.
Let's take a look at him. Let's take a look at
Oregon. So
Oh, there we go.
He starts his tweet off with weird. President Trump orders kids to take a presidential fitness test because of America's declining health and physical fitness. This calls for some leadership by example. Hey, Trump, set aside your executive order until you can show the nation how to do a single pull-up.
Why don't he climb a rope for me? See how he does, man. That's a mark of a man.
Yeah. Well, I think actually the average dude cannot do a pull-up.
Most of them not a full extension pull-up.
I couldn't until about 2 years ago.
Well, you bet you.
I've been focused on it.
I know you have.
And so, like, I wouldn't be shocked. I bet you JD Vance could get a pull-up.
I think JD Vance should get a pull-up. He was doing PT with the guys.
Oh, Hegseth can do multiple.
Hegseth can. Yeah.
Trump, he's a big guy. I don't know if he can get a full pull-up. Especially his age.
Yeah, and he's not using the fat shots either.
Well, even let him use the Versa grip. So grip is not a factor.
Right, exactly. He could do that.
See, I need those, or the grip becomes a factor real quick.
But if he did it, he probably would say, I was pretty much the best to ever do it, and I did it, and they were amazed at my prowess. He would say, I love when he gets on these rants about
I didn't kip. The Democrats are saying I kipped. They're saying I kipped like that gay workout group at CrossFit. No, I didn't kip. I didn't kip at all. There's no kipping.
I love when he does that.
It's full extension.
That's a full extension. Mr. President, we've never seen anything so good.
So that's the best the Democrats got? Like, I mean, it's
that's
stuff like
that's
that.
a really bad. Listen, okay, if you're going to take a shot at the president, I mean, over kids' fitness, which if you're not supporting that, then you're in the wrong. You're not in track with what Americans want.
Well, and the White House official response is, you want boys and men and women's sports.
That's right.
And you also support gender transition surgery, like genital mutilation. Yeah. Like that's the response to that guy. So it's like, shut up about pull-ups.
Sort of like, don't talk about science or health to us when you can't even determine what a woman is. Okay.
Right. Yeah. And so that's one cheap example. I admit it's cheap
because it's cherry picking, but he's the one who tried to cherry pick it.
Yeah, but who cares about Merkley?
Who cares about Oregon? For
Oregon, right? It's not
Oregon. God, it sounds like a team from the Game of Thrones or something. Oregon.
So the polls are showing that there are a lot of Democrats like really excited to go vote. They want that blue wave next year.
Yeah.
But recent polling shows they're still struggling to regaining their footing.
I'm thinking
with a lot of voters who lurch to the right. I love that. This is from Politico. Lurch to the right. It's not like independents made an informed decision.
I'm going to go over here. These are more. They've lurched.
They got tired of the liberal arts degree women scolding them about their language.
That's right.
Like, no, they lurched to the right.
Like the ship turned a little bit and they fell over. Yeah.
But there are a lot of folks like Emerson College Polling. Matt Taglia is the senior director there, says, I don't see a blue wave. It's more like a blue trickle. Yeah, it's so as much as there is enthusiasm that always happens with the party out of power. I think it's the base is smaller. And really, independents are back to being independent. A lot of them left Trump after the Elon and Epstein stuff.
I agree with you. I think this is
all about winning them back.
It's a brave new world going forward, but I think that this table has been set for continued success by the moderate to conservative elements, because right now they are. Listen, they continue to throw things out there. It's like, do you think that's going to help your party right now?
Right. They've tried to hit Trump, and this was less their effectiveness and more Trump shooting himself in the foot on the handling of the Jeffrey Epstein file.
Yep.
But that's still like, it hasn't, the most powerful voices on that are not Democrats. They're often like Bannon and Charlie Kirk and
people outside of the
folks who are with Trump but really want to see the Epstein stuff. Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
but then they've tried to hit Trump on tariffs. That's failed miserably.
I mean, think about it. Well, the converse to that is it's succeeded greatly by what he's done, but they think it's a failure. They want to castigate him.
And they hit Trump on the big, beautiful bill, or the mega bill, as they like to call it in the corporate press. And as much as I've criticized them for we're not taking the debt issue seriously, that's not what they're saying. They're like, you're kicking all these people off Medicaid. Well, knowing Republicans and knowing that I care about the debt, all those Medicaid cuts don't come but several years later. So they're probably not going to even happen.
Probably not.
But so the messaging on the mega bill or the big, beautiful bill has not been effective. The tariffs, the sky's going to fall, the economy is going to bust, hasn't happened.
They went as far as saying that, he's the reason we have COVID. You remember that crap? I mean, they throw darts, and it's like, really? Do you think that's going to stick?
And their old hobby horse of he's a puppet of Putin. That's kind of, especially as Trump is getting more and more hardcore on the Russians.
He's pretty torqued,
Yeah, we'll have to get into that in a little bit when we do more detail. But I'm looking at this, and Neera Tanden, you probably remember from the Center for American Progress, she says there's a lot of angst about the Democratic Party writ large. I totally hear that. But you have evidence of people on the Democratic side pretty motivated to come out and vote. I think the midterm election will be about who's angrier. Don't try us.
Really, we haven't got half of it out yet.
Don't try us, Nero. We'll be right on top of that.
I'm angry.
So it's a lot of early signs, but even as Trump's approval has fallen some, about 63% of voters hold negative views of Democrats. This is according to a Wall Street Journal poll. And Democrats' projected wins are modest. Separate polls conducted by Emerson and YouGov show that a generic matchup between the parties, they're only up by 2 percentage points. And it's never about the generic. It's always about the specific people running in the race.
Is that your stats nerds that are doing that for us? You said they lost their passion. Where's my pen?
Well, I want nerds that are like Milton from Office Space, like my stapler. I'm going to set if they ask me to move the desk in, I'm going to burn the building down.
Burn it all.
Right. And I want people running the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They're like, I don't care about who wins. I care about my numbers. Don't touch my numbers.
This trend, this XY axis.
When did they become these quants for Politico?
You said it best. You said it best before I came in here. I was listening on the way in. You said it best, that everything has become polarized and politicized.
Yeah, everything. Even a Great Jeans commercial with a smoking hot babe.
I mean, and I saw so many great memes from it. Like, you want this girl to do it? And it's like spandex, fat, rolls at Walmart, right? And spiked hair and God knows, baby powder between the flesh folds.
Yeah, it's just, you got to stay dry.
You do, but it smells like grandma. Ooh, it does smell like grandma.
A lot of lavender. 272-9228. I was just pondering that for a second.
Did you see the Simpsons episode where Ralphie is he's eating an apple and he goes, "Oh, it smells like grandma," and his dad goes, "Let me smell." He goes, "Oh, it does smell like grandma." We'll have more. It's terrible, man.
But that is the craziest thing. Like, Sydney Sweeney is objectively attractive,
she's very attractive.
She's never been like, I've never been like that crushing on her.
That's the problem. She represents, Robin, my wife, dropped me off today. She said, she looked at her, she goes, "Oh, she's wholesome. She represents normal people." Right. And that really ticks some people off.
And I prefer personally like little weirdos, but like,
strange is good.
If you're a lady and you're a little weirdo, hit me up.
That's why I'm with Robin.
But I wouldn't mind if I randomly ran into Sydney Sweeney. She wanted to hang out. I'd hang out.
You wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers, my dad would say.
No, like I'd bring the crackers. Let's eat.
She's all right. She's a little young, but it's good.
Yeah. You ever had crab legs in bed?
What is it like Seinfeld with when George says, "If I got her eating in bed now, if we can just get TV, we're in business." I love it.
So it's a bit of a mess. And so the fight over the redistricting, and then the fight over, once the districts are actually set,
right?
What the court does, then we'll get to work on the messaging to the people.
It's interesting because you hit it. The court's already kind of ruled, but now they're like, no, we'll hear this again. So something may have changed seismically.
It was a narrow ruling.
It was very narrow. Yeah.
And this is interesting, really questioning the underlying reason for the Voting Rights Act, Section 2.
Right.
So we shall see. 272-9228. If you want to get in on the conversation, let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's us?
Simpler Days.
Hey, Simpler Days. How you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good. I wonder what percentage, Joey, and I wonder what percentage of the people fleeing California as they continue to flee, what percentage of those are Democrat or Republican?
That's a good question.
Actually, a good bit of the people fleeing are Republican. That was maybe is old information, but when this was really happening after COVID, people that were born in Texas were more likely to be more liberal than the folks moving to Texas. So it's a lot of conservatives, Republicans. Maybe they're not as conservative like a born and raised Alabamian, but like they've voted Republican. Yeah, they tried and they just had to get out of town.
Yep.
I just wonder what effect that's having on the voter polls and as we go forward. Hey, Randall brought up he's talked about manufacturing plant. And for every action, there's a reaction. And I think I know the plant he's talking about. It was called National Industries, and it was here in Montgomery. It was out at Gunner Park, where all the business manufacturing places are. And it was owned by June and Ben Collier, and they made wiring harnesses for vehicles. They sent them out all over creation. And I worked security out there along with some other off-duty police officers. So one day, June called us in and said, we're going to be shutting down. And so she explained to us that the automobile manufacturers were moving to Mexico, and she was going to be moving her plant to Mexico.
Yep.
And that's exactly, I think that's who Randall was talking about, National Industries.
Okay.
So that's one of the reactions for that action.
Well, and I have vague memories of when I was playing like Little League Baseball. Wasn't the only game in town Russell? Like the
athletic wear and all that.
Yeah, and like obviously I think the NAFTA and that like kind of put the kibosh on that.
You had Fruit of the Loom, Russell. When I was with UPS, we hauled all their stuff out of Alex City, and it was very small amounts compared to what was coming in from. So well, thanks. I wondered what it was. So it was an automobile accessory manufacturer. That they okay. Cool.
Yeah, they made wiring harnesses.
Okay.
And
I've heard
we'd sit there and watch them box them up, and then the trailer trucks would take them out. Trailer loads.
Yeah.
Have a good day, gentlemen.
Appreciate it,
brother. Thank you, man.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're all ready, because I think this next wave of technological advances, I kind of contemplated at the beginning of the show, and like I can't get my mind off it. Sorry if I'm talking about it all the time. I think it's going to affect. It's not just folks in manufacturing. I think it's coders. It's a lot of white collar stuff. It's a lot of middle management jobs. It's a lot of stuff is about to go away.
We're on the precipice of a brave new world, and how we adjust to it, whether it be for military hardware, whether it be for service industry, whether it be for manufacturing, everything is about to have an exponential change. And, I'm glad that Elon Musk is over on the American side, so hopefully we can continue. I mean, he's brilliant. So
I'm as much as I'm trepidatious about it, I used Grok on a regular basis. It's a great little assistant. You know what I've done? I've created has a thing called daily tasks.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, and so I created a daily task. Here, let me pull it up. I'll just share it with the audience. And you set like each day. I do it at 9:30 in the morning, so it's about right when I'm done with working out, going to settle in after getting cleaned up. And here's my instruction. Search several news sites for national news, state news in Alabama, and local news in Montgomery. Be sure to look at the corporate media like the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, but other right-wing places like Citizen Free Press, the Bongino Report, maybe even Drudge Report. Look at 1819 News. Even look at Yellowhammer, an Alabama political reporter, and the Montgomery Advertiser, and WSFA for state and local news. Also search for the top trending political and cultural stories on X, including the hottest commentary. Add some funny posts as well. Then present this in a digestible way as though you are my Jeeves, briefing me in the morning. Don't be a cartoonish caricature of Jeeves. Be wry and dry and helpful. And this daily briefing will help me to produce a radio show. And it's kind of great. It ends up having like little fun moments. And I love how it is Jeeves. It's like, I took the liberty, sir, of coming up with this. And obviously, you don't read it, take it as gospel, but it provides all the links.
Did you have to refine it? Did you have to refine it and say, no, less of this, more of that? Sometimes I find with Grok, I got to be more specific. I got to be more when I'm drilling down. So
and I'll probably continue to refine it. But it's like, it works. I'll be doing my workout, whatever. I come back, get cleaned up, and there's my briefing. It can even read it to me.
You know what I find funny is you got me on the Grok, and everybody goes, "Oh, I'm using ChatGPT." I go, "Only old people use ChatGPT." They got all those commercials going. If you're using ChatGPT, you're too old.
Yeah, well, that's the one that's still being used by the vast, because it was first.
It's first.
First.
Well, people think about this, Joey. We've had AI for a long time. Boolean search engines are AI. They're just coded a certain way, right?
Right.
I mean, you go back and think about the original search engine. So but like you said, the exponential increase of technology has just magnified to almost an unmanageable or unpredictable degree.
Yeah, and by the way, Grok just released their Imagine thing. So you can type in whatever, it'll create a video or a picture.
Really cool.
And it's pretty quick and pretty effective. And there is some throttling, like only if you're a premium plus, you can only do 100 a day, which is still like make 100 photos in a day. That seems a little crazy.
Excessive. Yeah.
Got to hit another break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And you know about Pest Pro, right?
Yeah, I do. Listen, and I've kind of talked to Robin. We had our mosquitoes been bad. And I said, they got a maintenance plan that they come out and do this on a regular. And we got fire ants, and thinking about maybe talking to them. So,
because it's imagine you got a place and you do like the normal things like the power bill and the water bill. It's like, think of pest control folks. They do this monthly subscription where it's a regular charge. You're not guessing if they come up to fire ants or termites or mosquitoes.
Right.
No, they can cover it all. And if you're trying to enjoy your property, I know you got a nice spot.
I have a very good spread, and
you're just getting eaten up. They always go for the sweet meat too around the ankles and stuff.
Yeah, I know they do. That must be good.
And or you get inside and there's just a huge welt on your forearm. You're like,
how did that come out?
Like, if you actually want to enjoy your property, let Pest Pro come out, and it works. And it's not like they show up once. They come out on a regular basis, make sure that mosquito problem is solved for the year. And so if you want to learn more, folks, you can always go to ppsroofregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. They're very active on Facebook, a lot of tips and tricks when it comes to those little critters you're trying to keep out of your place, but also a lot of great community events, always highlighting local athletics, helping out local nonprofits, even helping out other small businesses in the area. Ashley and the team, they're great local folks. So when you spend your money with them, it's staying here in the community. Call them up today at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and the team that Joey and Troy, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians. But we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Is foot pain holding you back? Visit the Good Feet store for a free personalized fitting and test walk.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillip Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillip Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Tropical downpours and cooler temperatures highlight the weather news. Mostly cloudy today with a high temperature up to about 81. That's the coolest day since May 31st. Low tonight down to about 70. Scattered to numerous showers and storms, especially by this afternoon and this evening. More slow-moving tropical downpours. In fact, that'll be a continuous theme for most of this week. Tuesday's high temperature only up to about 83, and we may be in the 80s right on through Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Austin Baranka with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing today?
Having a great week so far, Jundy. How are you?
Oh, life is just swell. Had a good weekend. Almost too much fun. Watched some wrestling because, you know, I wax poetic and philosophical, as Troy was telling me the other day. But like sometimes I just got to watch some just cheesy American entertainment. And, you know, the ladies can wrestle now. I don't know if you're a big fan.
It's real in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not in the wrestling world like you, Joey, but I respect it. And I would love to hear your opinion on lady wrestling one day.
Man, that was a great diplomatic response. He got out of that straitjacket.
I love him. He's smooth. He's just so smooth.
So let me take your temperature just on the macro economy as we head, because it seems like a lot of the table is set heading into next year. What's your just sense of where we're going?
Yeah, so tariffs are kind of back on the table, about to take place by the end of this week. Market is responding favorably to it. We had a pretty steep drawdown in all three indices last week, but we've rebounded strongly today. So I think they're kind of shrugging off these tariffs. I do think that there is kind of a consensus baked in amongst the broader market that we will get a rate cut heading into year end. I think it'll be a quarter point. I don't think it'll be anything too crazy, but just the relief of knowing that the Fed is willing to cut, which we've been waiting on for quite a while, I think will, buoy the market again further heading into, say, September. Looking at the main driving forces behind the market right now, it's mainly AI and tech. There's a small underlying component of the financial sector pushing this forward, which is unique because rates are still high. But all in all, AI and tech are driving this train. It's the same story it has been for the last several years. Another macro trend that I've been following just personally is the housing market. We've still got mortgage rates hovering between 6.5 and 7.5. Demand for homes is cooling off. I think we've seen a 3 to 5% decrease in demand, and there also seems to be an increase in supply. So hopefully it'll bring some of the housing prices down for a guy like me who's maybe looking to purchase. But all in all, the economy is really strong right now, much stronger than it was, at year end last year. I think everyone was bearish pretty heavily, including us here heading into this year. And we did get a steep correction right at the end of Q1, beginning of Q2. But now that we're, well on our way past the halfway mark of the year, I think that people are having to eat their words, saying that, we were going into a recession this year. We had a brief moment of recession, but, we're pushing all-time highs on the S&P again. And I think that this gravy train will continue so long as, the powers in Washington can stay, calm and collected and move forward with these concepts they've come up with. They seem to be working so far, and I think a lot of it is investor sentiment, right? The technicals don't necessarily line up to match the performance of the major indices this year, but sentiment is high amongst people in the country, and the train being driven by AI and tech is undeniable right now. So all in all, I think we're in a great spot from a macroeconomic position. We'll see what happens heading into September with the rate cut and how these tariff numbers begin to roll in. But I'm optimistic at this point.
Folks, it's this sort of expertise, and great. I appreciate that a lot, Austin. Great insights there. And you want this sort of insight, this sort of expertise. You want somebody to help you manage, and not only manage that money, but have a long-term financial plan. Check out Austin Branco here and the great team at Invista Advisors. Of course, it is looking at your investments, your stock portfolio, but they can also help you with all other aspects when it comes to long-term financial planning. It could be things like life insurance. Could be a lot of your wealth is tied up in a small business. Maybe you want to get out of the game or want help managing that, or endowments, nonprofits. They really do it all. So if you're looking for a one-stop shop with a great interdisciplinary team, that's Invista Advisors. Call them up today at 387-0094. Again, that's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them, hey, I heard Austin Branco on the radio with Joey Clark. Want to see what y'all can do for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe, and y'all have a great week.
Appreciate it, Austin. Yep. Again, folks, that's Austin Branco with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor, and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Now, I'm pulling up a clip here, and again, Troy Carrico is in studio with me. I don't know what this is, like what CNN's up to, but this Harry Enton guy.
Yes.
I wonder where he's from based on that accent.
We got a bio on
but Harry Enton is continuing to lay out what is really bad news if you're a Democrat.
Yeah.
Just showing how much impact Trump is having on the world and on the United States of America. So I just want to play a little bit of this segment here. Let's react to it.
The Donald Trump administration is arguably the most influential this century, and probably as well dating back a good portion of the last century as well. Love it, like it, lump it. Trump is remaking in the United States of America. Let's talk about tariffs first, right? There's all this talk that Donald Trump always chickens out when it comes to tariffs. No tacos for Trump. The effective tariff rate, get this, it's 18%, the highest since the FDR administration in the 1930s, up from, get this, just 2% last year. From just 2% last year, we're talking about an effective tariff rate level, get this, 9 times as high this year than last year. But it's not just on tariffs, which of course Donald Trump ran on, in which you're seeing a tremendously influential presidency. What about immigration? Of course, Trump ran and has always run on a very hawkish immigration platform. Get this, 2025 net migration in the United States down at least 60% from last year. In fact, we may be heading for the first time in at least 50 years in which we have net negative migration into the United States. And last year, of course, in 2024, the net migration in the U.S. was 2.8 million. This year, we might be talking about negative net migration. My goodness gracious. Now, of course, this is part of a larger story, as I was mentioning. We're talking about immigration, net migration. We're talking about the effective tariff rate. But get this, how is Donald Trump doing it? Well, he is signing a ton of executive orders. Get this, 180, the most in a year since Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Oh my goodness, you have to go back to the first half of the 20th century, the last century. And to make a comparison, Joe Biden signed, get this, just 77 during his entire first year. And we're only a little bit in August so far. And Donald Trump making history with 180 executive orders signed so far this year. So that's why I said that in my mind, Donald Trump is the most influential president of this century and probably dating back a good portion of the last century. That is because he is remaking the country in terms of tariffs. He is remaking the country in terms of net migration, and he is remaking the country in terms of how much policy changes he's putting through in executive orders. As I said, it truly is history making. Love it, like it, or lump it. The Donald.
Is that CNN?
That's CNN.
Is that CNN?
Wow.
Are they changing their? What's going on?
Wow.
Hey, the truth is right there in front of everyone.
Well, and it shows he's actually following through on his agenda.
Yes, he is.
And I think a lot of Americans, I mean, there's going to be spells where we don't like this, we don't like that, but on the general agenda, I think he is doing exactly what he said. And if this economy continues to grow, which is, I mean, we got to watch what the Fed's going to do. There's a lot of questions on what can happen.
There's a lot of that, yeah.
Don't underestimate the effect of AI, as Austin Branco was saying, especially how much AI is summoning up more energy production.
For sure.
And use.
For sure.
So I think you're getting a lot of economic activity. And all these trade deals, you're bringing back not just revenue through the tariff, which actually might help with the debt and the deficit I was so worried about with the big, beautiful bill.
Good.
You're also seeing like this big chunk of money, like a big pot of money that every ally is throwing in for the president to use as he wishes, hundreds of billions of dollars. It'll probably get over trillions.
Yes.
That will be essentially in a fund for the president to build up technological and military capacity.
Yes.
And this is like, go back to your old Milton Friedman, when people were all worried about the trade deficit we had with Japan in the 80s.
Right.
Friedman's like, oh, but the dollars come back. They invest back here and it all comes back. Well, this is a great way of having the government speed that up, saying invest back in America.
And it's ensuring that it happens, right? And that's, I think, you're right. You're spot on that one.
Yeah, it's only fair if we run these deficits for so long that y'all give some back.
And don't forget all these DEI organizations that are giving money to the president. Oh, that's going to go to his library. I'm sorry, but I love it. I love it.
Now, the other thing that people were bringing up that's just so stupid, like, I guess we got to disagree with everything. Did you see Trump's going to build a new ballroom for the White House?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I think it's a nice touch.
I think listen, it's long overdue. I mean, that's where we wine and dine the leaders of the world. Should we not have a facility that has a ballroom in it?
Right.
Do you think he can dance? I bet he's the best dancer ever.
He created a dance craze at the end of the 2024 election.
He sure did.
You had NFL players like folks doing the hand thing right there, the shimmy. Right.
Hand jive.
Yeah, Trump can dance.
Yeah,
that's a major reason I was backing him in 24.
That's right. He's such a good dancer. He's a good dancer.
Yeah, he's the greatest dancer
of all time.
Mm-hmm.
The GOAT.
Let's go to line 2. You're on the air. Who's this? Hello.
Well, I had enough of that I could take. Boy,
no. He's the greatest dancer.
What this Trump party day today or something? Anniversary day? What's going on? What's up with all this love fest stuff?
We're trying to get you to call.
Take it up with CNN. I didn't do that segment.
Well, since I turned you on about 30 minutes ago for the first time all day long. And y'all been loving on this boy ever since. I said, man, they ain't talk about that daggone man fire just later Friday. Talk about that a little bit there right there.
I did talk about that
a little bit. I didn't hear what I'm saying. I just turned you on. So
what I said is if you're a nerd, if I'm hiring a nerd,
yes, right,
to run my stats department,
I want him to be a nerd.
I want him to be a straight out nerd. If it's a guy, I want you to be a eunuch. I want you to have no sex drive.
No life.
I don't want you to vote for anybody. I don't want you to donate to anybody political, be part of any political party. All I want you to care about is my numbers. And my numbers must be correct.
And 15 cats.
And we don't get that anymore. Everything, even the nerds are political.
That's true. He wants them to have pencil protectors and all that.
Oh boy!
Revenge of the Nerds.
Trump, they show videos of Trump bragging about every month coming up how good thing was. And, man, right up over there, come in and write the satisfying ball. Trump said, "She got to go."
Yeah. Now we got a clip of the Trump's guy explaining like this is and it wasn't just under Trump. It was
story about the hair thing, but at the end of the day, damn it, he did what he did.
Well, and also that the same woman was under the Biden administration. Yeah. They had to revise down Biden job numbers by 1 million. Like they reported 1 million jobs that just didn't exist. Yeah, like over time.
That's unbelievable. Well, got you to call.
Number got to be just like,
we got you to call. Right, we got you to call us, man. See, it worked.
Hey, it's funny, man. I love it though. So If the key don't get what key you want, boy, he gonna replace your ass.
Yeah. And then I saw that Schumer picked up on this. And what did he say exactly, Chuck? What did Chucky Boy say? He said Kevin Hassett should be fired. He is defending Trump's lies about the jobs report and the firing of Erica McIntarfer. That's a nerd name. The business community should demand a flack like him have no role at the Fed. And my response to that earlier today, Duke, to Chuck Schumer, hey, Schumer, shut your whore mouth. That's my response to Chuck Schumer.
Trump cussed him out the weekend, didn't he? In a text message or something.
Yeah, it's something like that.
I
gave a lot of money to him.
These politicians raw nowadays, boy. They might want to let everybody cuss on the radio nowadays. See all this stuff going on.
I wish.
I love when he does that.
I
love it when he does to Chuck. He goes, I gave a lot of money to him in the past. He may not like me still, but I donated. I donated to him.
Oh, by the way, there might be people out there listening going, well, he does curse a little bit on the radio. I'm like, no. This isn't cursing. Yeah. Let's go be bubbleheads under the sea. All right. Then you're going to hear some real stuff.
Hey, Joey, won't you run for that spot and get those numbers right for Trump?
Well, I'm not a numbers guy.
He's not a nerd.
I've got a sex drive. I have political opinions.
He's sort of a nerd, but
and I've
he's
never been a math guy, but I do. I want somebody who's like my numbers, and if you mess with my numbers, I'll set the building on fire. Like I want somebody like that.
Revenge of the nerds.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Trump something there, boy. Oh, man. That's all I got today, boy.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, dude.
All right, man.
It's part of the program. In fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage, especially if we could get interest rates down.
I know.
They're ready to help you, especially buying a place. Say you're waiting on interest rates like a bunch of other folks.
Yep.
Why not go ahead and get in a position to where you're ready to go?
Get pre-certified.
Yeah, get pre-approved. They're ready to help you out there and do that at Alabama Home Mortgage. Maybe you're not ready, and they can tell you the steps of here's what you need to do to get in a better position. And maybe you're ready. Go ahead, get pre-approved. That way you can hit the ground running, and they'll walk you through if you need the whole home buying process from pre-approval all the way to closing day. They'll also help you refinance. Could be to get credit card debt off your back, or maybe you took out a second mortgage, or it could be you are close to retirement or in retirement. You want to get down monthly overhead so that retirement can last.
Right. And veterans, they need to make the call. There's so many things that veterans don't understand about what they can do with those different.
They've been told, you already used it, or you don't qualify this.
It's not true. It's not true necessarily.
And they pride themselves there at Alabama Home Mortgage and own the latest with VA home loan programs. And you think, because often, like the bad reputation of the hospital side of the VA can blur. No. That's not the deal with the home loans.
No, it's not.
And at Alabama Home Mortgage, I think the average turnaround time is something like 2 weeks.
That's ridiculous. I mean, who does that?
So it's the best deal in town, veterans. Take advantage of it. Check them out today. You can always call them, start the conversation at 567-4223, or apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. And MLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Hopefully, we'll have Michael Cohen on the other side.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Woodward, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Did you know that more Americans listen to radio than use Facebook each week? Did you know that 77% of listeners would try a brand or product endorsed by their favorite radio personality? Contact me, Cheryl Woodward, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Wet feet, melting popsicles, puppy prints. Summer is hard on floors, but Pergo Vinyl by Mohawk is kid-proof, pet-proof, and life-proof. And right now during the Pergo event at Prattville Carpet, you can get luxury vinyl, worry-free floors, plus up to $1,000 in rebates on qualifying Pergo products. So gorgeous new floors up to $1,000 back. And did I mention 12 months no interest? Get the details and shop Mohawk's Pergo event now through August 11th at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. And MLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. No Eddie today, but Troy Carrico's here in the studio with me.
Hey, Michael.
Yay, Troy.
Michael, what's going on?
So, what's the score there today, Cohen?
Yeah, tell us.
31-0.
Man, it gets
Nice.
better each week.
And had a customer come in the other week, last week, wanted to do something, thought they could do it cheaper. Anyway, after they had the cheaper version, they weren't happy and they came back, and Michael Jack's got to go out there and do it the right way. And it's when you see pictures that he shows us of installs that are done by other people that are professionals or supposed to be professionals,
alleged,
and you see spacers and you see things aren't straight and they're not level, and I don't understand how they get away with it. Because we've never been able to get away with it. I remember being at a customer's house and Michael measured and got it level, and he goes up to the customer and he says, we have a decision you got to make. And they said, what's that? He says, the TV is level, and he put his level on top of it. He said, but your crown molding is not level. He put his level on the crown molding. And he's like, what do you want it to match?
Oh, boy.
You want it to be level with your cabinet or with the crown molding? And and they all decided they wanted it to match the cabinet since it was closer to the cabinet. Yeah. But, those are the things that bugged him. So, he tries to give the customer the ability to make that choice. And, that it's all about install. I mean, we sell good stuff, but if it's not installed properly, it doesn't look good. It doesn't perform the way it should. And you're ultimately not going to be as happy with it if it's not installed properly.
Well, and I think you just laid out, it really is the service that makes a huge difference. Great products there. But, right. Sony can be bought a lot of different places. But when you buy Cohen's, number one, y'all can price match. And number two, you get that amazing extra service on the installation. Or I often think of big things like a washer dryer unit or old fridge, and you're getting that replaced. Y'all can take away the old stuff if need be.
That's right. Yeah, and today we do not charge to haul off your old appliance like our competitors do. So if we deliver it, we'll haul whatever you have there off, which makes it much easier for the customers.
Well, folks, if you are looking for new electronics, new appliances, and amazing service, a true institution here in the Montgomery and River Region area, just go by Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Of course, you can always shop online, peruse the website, thinkcohens.com, but I encourage you to stop by 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery, open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure to find Michael and be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with Joey and Troy.
That's right. That's right. Y'all come see us, bring us some pictures of whatever room you're trying to upgrade, and let us help steer you to the right choice where you'll be happy with your purchase, and hopefully we'll have our guys do the install for you, and it'll all be a happy experience.
Well, I appreciate it, Michael, and we'll chat again soon. Have a good day,
See
man.
you, mate.
All right. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
If only we could talk about the things we were saying off here.
I know. Did you see what I sent you? Text again. So I'm very good friends with John. His name's John Hugger. He wrestled WWE and WO. He was part of the Full Blooded Italians. Very close friend of mine. He now wrestled in Japan just finished up in Japan and came back. He lives in Phoenix, but
and this
he
is
lived
him
in Atlanta. That's him.
Lifting Rikishi.
Yeah.
Strong dude.
He was a bouncer at one of the clubs I was a partner in, and I hired him, and then he went into wrestling. He went to the power plant. The very first week he's there, Kurt Angle broke his leg and said, "If you heal and you come back, I'll train you to wrestle." And he did.
Wow.
So it's power plant. Yeah, he's pretty strong.
If you can make it in that world, that's a hard life. That's a hard work.
He said he got $100,000 contract when he left NWO or NWA to WWE, but he was responsible. He was 1099, so he was responsible for his medical insurance. Well, just so happened he jumped off of a turnbuckle onto a table, busted his urethra, had to have surgery. $30,000 later, he's like, yeah. So he went to Japan, made a lot more money, a lot less stress on his body.
And it's a crazy world. I occasionally jump back into it, watch some SummerSlam this weekend, 2 nights of it.
Characters are fun.
Actually, I thought John Cena's match with Cody Rhodes was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually a good match. There were a few very high quality matches.
Like I said, everyone knows wrestling's fake except for in Mexico.
Yeah, and sometimes in Japan. They get a little intense.
That's pretty intense. Yeah.
Anyway, we got to hit this top hour break. Final hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A group of countries that are part of the oil cartel OPEC Plus have agreed to boost oil production, which some believe could lower oil and gasoline prices. 8 members will increase oil production by 547,000 barrels per day in September. President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, expected in Moscow by midweek, just before the president's Friday deadline for the Kremlin to stop the killing in Ukraine or face potentially severe economic penalties. Authorities say a former U.S. soldier suspected of killing 4 people in Montana is still at large. It happened at the Owl Bar in Anaconda, Montana. Officials say they believe 45-year-old military veteran Michael Paul Brown committed the shooting. This is SRN News.
Charlie Kirk here. I've been thinking, why does it feel like losing weight is harder than ever before? Mixed messages, fad diets, and quick fix solutions. Many people are left stuck and exhausted trying to fight a battle they can't seem to win. If you feel this way, you're not alone. I used to feel that way too. But let me tell you, it's not your fault. Your body is working against you, and delaying action only makes it harder. I took a step 2 years ago and called PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition and lost 40 pounds. I feel great and have kept it off. If you are ready to make a change for life, call 855-696-2020. That is 855-696-2020 to schedule your weight loss consultation. The first 11 callers who mention healthy will get 2 free weeks added to their weight loss package. Call 855-696-2020 and mention the word healthy. Visit them at myphdweightloss.com. That is myphdweightloss.com. It works, everybody. Check it out at myphdweightloss.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this. Listen close. You get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Tropical downpours and cooler temperatures highlight the weather news. Mostly cloudy today with a high temperature up to about 81. That's the coolest day since May 31st. Low tonight down to about 70. Scattered to numerous showers and storms, especially by this afternoon and this evening. More slow-moving tropical downpours. In fact, that'll be a continuous theme for most of this week. Tuesday's high temperature only up to about 83, and we may be in the 80s right on through Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
You can make your ASE loan payment from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. YourASECreditUnion.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your cause, your ASE.
1819 News.
U.S. Senator Katie Britt is offering legislation within the U.S. Senate that bans illegal aliens from voting in the Washington, D.C. local elections. Britt has 21 co-sponsors to this bill, which addresses the D.C. City Council law that was passed allowing non-citizens to vote in local elections. Britt said this decision is no small thing, but is about the direction of the nation's capital, which represents the strongest democratic republic in the world. Britt says that allowing non-citizens to vote is a slap in the face to every U.S. citizen and those who took the time and effort to go through the naturalization process. This bill has already been passed in the U.S. House, with 54 Democrats joining Republicans in supporting the legislation. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness License Plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
Residents in Cleburne County experienced flash flooding over the weekend. A 22-year-old man drowned in those waters after his vehicle was overwhelmed by the floodwaters. The drowning victim has been identified as Cohen Turner. 2 other emergency water rescues took place on 2 different county roads. A 3-year-old Bessemer boy was laid to rest this past weekend at the 6th Avenue Beulah Baptist Church in Bessemer. The family of Katorius Starks Jr. grieved the loss of the little boy. Katorius, otherwise known as KJ, was in the custody of a contracted worker with the Department of Human Resources who forgot she had the little boy, went home, parked the car, and left him for hours in the hot sun. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Here at Adams Drugs, we let our customers do the talking. I'm here with Ronnie Taunton, who was a longtime customer of Adams Drugs, moved away for 3 years, and came back to town recently. Ronnie, what did you do for another pharmacy when you moved out of town?
When we moved to Fairhope, we were looking for a local. We did not want to go to a big box store. And we did find one, but the service was not up to par. Adams Drug really spoiled us.
What was it like to come back to Adams Drugs again?
It was very easy. We picked up the phone when we got back, came up to Prattville and called the branch there in Prattville, and they took that phone call and did the rest of it. We didn't have to do a thing. It was very simple. We're glad to be back with them. They're so efficient and customer service oriented.
Come in to any of our 12 Adams Drugs locations. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net to find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And I forgot to ask earlier, what's that flag behind you today?
Let's see.
I've got it.
Oh, you got it there. Yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah. So we've had this before, but I think it's fitting. I don't know if you've been paying attention to Europe and all the fighting going on right now with immigration, and especially in Ireland and in Spain. This is the Reconquista flag of the Kingdom of Jerusalem under Baldwin and his predecessors, and that is the official battle flag of crusader fighters, particularly the Knights Templar, the poor soldiers of Christ, Knights Templar. And I find it interesting because I'm seeing people start to strike back that they're pretty upset The authorities aren't fixing anything. You've got vigilante bands going around right now. It's so I thought it was very timely to revisit that flag.
Oh, Europe is. And somebody is like Douglas Murray called this years ago.
Yeah.
It's called his book, The Strange Death of Europe.
Yes.
And it is unfortunate to see.
It's happening.
And then you see that it is kind of a legacy of, well, let's blow up the Middle East. Let's blow up Syria and Iraq and Libya. And what could the effect be?
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, everybody figures a way across the Mediterranean, or at least through Turkey, and there they are. And the Europeans were so dumb. I guess like Hungary and Poland and a few places said, no, we're not.
They
letting
stood
this
their
in.
ground. They stood their ground. But Western Europe,
it's a bit of a mess, especially when I look at where we kind of originate from, at least the United States. When
Sure.
you look at England,
sure,
like what's happened to that place?
it's bad. And if you got Colin McGregor as your champion,
right?
You know it's bad, right?
Yeah, no, and I'm a very not necessarily. I am live and let live, but I think with really strong property rights, a lot of different types of folks can kind of live near one another.
Sure.
As long as there's something above enforcing those property rights.
Sure.
But when you have that massive of a migration and
terrible.
you are inviting in Islamists that really don't give a damn about your
Not
laws
interested in it.
and their interest in their law, that is a huge problem. And I'm not even talking about violent terrorists, folks. I'm talking about folks that
I agree.
hold political beliefs that say essentially Islam should be the law of the land.
Well, we were just talking a minute ago about Japan and how xenophobic it is, but it works for them. Guess what? The dilution of diversity throughout the Western cultures has been a major impediment and can be a downfall for many of them.
Yeah, and we'll continue to see, because I look at France, I look at Germany, I look
Spain.
Yeah.
Spain's really bad.
Oh, especially those
the Moors,
the coastal countries,
Tunisian.
the poorer countries. And that's just the immigration side. You get into Europe's constant debt problem, and they have some very funky system that isn't quite like our Federal Reserve system. And
Yet the euro trades higher than the dollar. Right.
Right.
If the balloon goes up, I guarantee you people are trading in dollars, not in euros.
now, in a second, you ready to do your op-ed?
Yeah, whatever.
But first, just as an update, this just came out at 1819 News, written by Caleb Taylor. Alabama Republicans optimistic over SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, revisiting redistricting case.
Yes.
So, of course, SCOTUS has instructed parties in a Louisiana redistricting case to address whether drawing a second majority-minority district violates the Constitution. And the question is, should districts be based on race? Even if you're, say, trying to reconcile a historical wrong going forward, is this actually sound at this point in time? The outcome of the case would have implications for Alabama. Alabama is defending against a similar ongoing redistricting law. David Bowser, I was about to say Bowser. Like Mario?
Maybe.
Bowser, with an H in there, legal counsel for the Alabama Republican Party, told attendees at ALGOP's summer's meeting on Saturday that the Supreme Court is now looking at the very issue that we hoped they were going to look at a year ago in our case, but better late than never. We are waiting with bated breath to see what the court does. The Supreme Court could rule on the case no later than June 2026, according to this attorney. ALGOP Chairman John Wall told reporters after the meeting he was optimistic about the Supreme Court taking up this case, saying, quote, "Our argument has always been that if we truly get to the root cause of racism, it's dividing people and looking at people based on the color of their skin. We're advocates for not looking at individuals' backgrounds or dividing our communities, but looking at each individual as unique and special. If you look at it through that context, it shouldn't matter what your background is. It shouldn't matter what the color of your skin is. If that's the case, if any district is drawn on the basis of the color of someone's skin, it is racist by the nature of that decision." Wall goes on saying, "We are optimistic. It obviously looks like this request from the Supreme Court, that the Supreme Court is looking at the same thought that, look, if you start looking at people and dividing people based on their ethnic background, that is a type of racism, and districts should not be drawn on that, and it could violate the Constitution, looking at the 13th and the 14th Amendment." Of course, we will see this is all speculative, and we won't know until they're actually over and done with the case. But now I saw this this weekend. Came out this weekend. It says here, Troy Carrico, the Judas in jurisprudence sabotaging Trump's America First agenda.
Yes.
Like to share that with the folks?
I would love to. And this has a bonus with it. There's a The end paragraph is the one that was edited. So, and it's nothing controversial. It's just a little bit conflictual, and it's an option. So, friends, Americans, and countrymen, lend me your ears and take heed, for the soul of these United States is in grave danger. We are witnessing an outrage so brazen, so utterly contemptuous of the rule of law, that it demands our unbridled fury. Federal judges, unelected black-robed oligarchs with personal agendas and political manifestos, are seditiously launching a frontal assault on President Donald J. Trump's America First policies. They mock and defile the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court of the United States and its clear rulings. This is not mere judicial overreach. It's treasonous activism run amok. A coup d'etat from the bench. It's high time that the people call it, we the people call it what it is. Insurgent judicial tyranny. The Supreme Court, the highest arbiter of the highest arbiter and paramount venue of our constitutional republic, has repeatedly affirmed the legality of President Trump's policies. Actions designed to secure our borders, protect our economy, and restore American sovereignty. For example, in Trump versus Hawaii 2018, the court upheld the president's broad authority to restrict specific foreign entry to national security. Just to refresh your memory, Joe, it was specifically North Koreans, Iranians, and Russians. They were worried about people coming in for nefarious activity. So that's what that one regarded. The Loper Bright Enterprises versus Raimondo ruling gutted the Chevron doctrine, empowering Trump's deregulatory agenda, and also stripping some of these agencies from having lawmaking abilities, which was very critical, like the ATF. Yet, like roaches scurrying from the light of justice, lower federal judges defy these rulings, issuing injunctions that reek of partisan hackery. These activist judges, many appointed by Democrat globalists, wage a shadow war against the will of the American people, as expressed through their duly elected president. Take the recent spate of rulings blocking Trump's immigration enforcement. Trump versus Hawaii made it clear the president can prioritize national security, yet federal judges from California to New York issue nationwide injunctions against Trump's efforts to tighten asylum rules and deport criminal aliens, rewriting the law to push an open borders agenda again. They're flipping the bird to the Supreme Court and the voters who have demanded secure borders for years. These unjust judges should face consequences for their traitorous actions. The Boasberg scandal is the guidon for these deceitful jurists. An absolute judicial disgrace. Enter U.S. District Judge James Boasberg, the epitome of judicial insurgency. The Department of Justice has filed a pending criminal complaint against Boasberg about time, accusing him of undermining judicial impartiality with inflammatory public comments. On March 11th, 2025, at a judicial conference gathering, Boasberg personally warned Chief Justice John Roberts that Trump's administration would, quote, disregard rulings from federal courts, end quote, predicting a, quote, constitutional crisis, end quote. These remarks exposed by the Federalist preceded Boasberg's ruling in JGG versus Trump 2025. If you'll remember about the aircraft that was going to El Salvador, he blocked Trump's deportation of Venezuelan gang members to El Salvador under the Alien Enemies Act. His order to return over 200 deportees was later vacated by the Supreme Court of improper venue. Yet Boasberg doubled down, accusing the administration of criminal contempt and threatening to appoint an outside prosecutor, a defiant yet myopic threat. The DOJ, under Attorney General Pam Bondi, rightly called out Boasberg's ethical violations, which erode public trust and defy the Supreme Court precedent. This revolutionary judge, in the vein of Castro or Trotsky, weaponizes the bench to obstruct lawful policy, trampling the Constitution. The real damage, however, lies in its economic sabotage wrought by these ne'er-do-wells. Trump's deregulatory agenda, backed by Loper Bright, is under attack by judges blocking executive orders to slash red tape, claiming a vague, quote, public interest. Public interest? The public spoke clearly in 2016, 2020, and 2024, roaring support for Trump's pro-growth policies. These judges serve only their narcissistic egos and socialist coastal elites. The same goes for Trump's energy independence policies. The Supreme Court has upheld his authority, yet judges and their liberal strongholds halt pipeline and drilling, sacrificing blue-collar jobs for their green, clean energy dogma. This judicial insurrection threatens our very constitutional order and poses an existential threat to the republic. The founders created checks and balances, not a system where judges would wield veto power over co-equal branches. Article 3 clearly grants judges the powers to interpret laws, not legislate from the bench, while the executive branch enforces those laws. Nationwide injunctions, one after another, paralyze entire policies, usurping the president and Congress. This oligarchy in robes. Congress must act to curb the nationwide injunctions, enforce judicial oversight, and defund activist courts. Impeachment looms for judges who discredit good behavior. Patriots, heed the call. The battle lines are drawn. These judges, led by figures like Boasberg, attack Trump, defy the sacred halls of justice, and betray the will of the American people. We cannot stand by while our sovereignty is eroded by unelected elitists. The will of the people, affirmed by the Supreme Court and are embodied by Trump, has been violated, and a reckoning must occur. Our cause is certain, and the sanctity of the republic must be defended. Now, this is the bonus piece you don't get in 1819 News. Trump could, however, Joey, take a page from history, staring down rogue justices like Boasberg and daring them to enforce their tyrannical edicts. He could channel his inner old hickory, if you will, as President Andrew Jackson did in the seminal 1832 case of Worcester versus Georgia. When Supreme Court Justice John Marshall issued a ruling Jackson opposed, he reportedly declared at a dinner party, "John Marshall has made his decision. Now let him enforce it." Jackson ignored the court's overreach to prioritize national interest, a novel idea for today's fight against these legal assassins. There you go.
Well. Folks, you can read that yourself. I say, well, I also mean here. Again, 1819 News, just go to the opinion section. Cool. You can find it, folks. And that is from the pen and the voice of Troy Carrico. Hey, real quick, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They're ready to help you fellas out. I know there are a lot of guys out there, especially as they get a little older, into the 40s, 50s, and 60s, who feel tired, sluggish, not like themselves, but they wrongfully assume it's just part of aging. No. Low energy and performance issues aren't inevitable. Solutions do exist. And so instead of using these generic online pills and big national companies, there's not going to be any guesswork, no gimmicks when it comes to Montgomery Men's Health, just real science and effective treatments. So meet up with the urologists and providers there at Montgomery Men's Health. They'll tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. And it's beyond just checking that testosterone, because that very well could be your issue. They also have ED treatments and other options many men don't even know exist. And of course, it's affordable. Consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. So you got one life. Procrastination is only going to make this worse, gentlemen. And it's not just guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. You're in your 20s, your 30s. And you just feel down and out for no good reason, get by Montgomery Men's Health. Call them at 440-3663 or visit montgomerymenshealth.com to book your appointment today. So completely shifting gears here, I continue to wish, to pray, to hope that Lindsey Graham gets defeated in the upcoming primary, but Trump's already endorsed him. You know what I mean?
It's complicated. It's really complicated, Joey. I don't understand it, but yeah.
But like Lindsey has always just been that.
Once more.
He is Richard III. He could add colors to the chameleon. Like he really is this.
He's strange,
slippery, wretched fella, but he's also very charming. Like you're that's what I've been told by even folks who can't stand the guy. Like he could hang out with anybody.
He's like your gay Southern uncle.
Yeah. Like he really can get along with everybody and say whatever he wants, and everybody is cool with it.
He is.
Even if you complain about it.
And he loves war too, buddy. He likes war.
Oh, yeah. But I love women more. So Trump, of all folks, put this on True Social. And this is Lindsey on Sean Hannity's show. So I don't know what this is going to be like. I try not to watch much of Hannity anymore.
Yeah. You know what? We were talking about that last night. Robin goes, "Is he still around?" I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "I bet he's kind of now the part of the problem." I go, "Sort of." Yeah.
Hannity says whatever.
I know he does.
He's a cheerleader.
He is.
Which is not a bad gig to get. It's like good for you, man.
Highly paid cheerleader.
So let's try to get through this segment.
Okay. Joining us now with more, Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, I want to get your reaction.
I can't do it. That smile.
He does. He's like cheesy. He's like, "Yeah, I'm on here again."
Hey, Sean.
Sean,
hey, how you doing?
not only to the Durham annex, but also Tulsi's
Yeah.
declassification. And as you put it all together, you were the one person, it was you. You got everybody that used that phony Hillary Clinton bought and paid for Russian disinformation dossier as the basis for not one but 4 FISA applications. You got every one of those people, including James Comey. What did he sign? 3 of the 4, 2 of the or 2 of the 4?
3 of the 4.
To say, okay, 3 of the 4. To say, knowing what we know now, we never would have signed it. They knew the information was false, though, way back when, and they used it anyway. Does that mean they lied to a court? Put it all together for us.
Well, so number one, the warrant against Carter Page that was sought by the FBI, 3 of the 4 applications to the FISA court were signed by Comey. The FBI had information that the Steele dossier was politically motivated. It was the exclusive basis for the warrant against Carter Page. The subsource, this Danchenko guy,
Igor
who gave
Danchenko.
information to Steele, told FBI agents it's hearsay, it's bar talk. It was never meant to be used in a legal proceeding. That, in spite of all that, they got warrant after warrant after warrant. So what did Page tell Strzok in August after Crossfire Hurricane opened up on July the 31st? Page, he's never going to become president, right? Strzok, no, he won't. We'll stop him. These are the 2 people leading Crossfire Hurricane. But what's important tonight is that for the first time we know that in January of 2016, Debbie Wasserman Schultz apparently meets with the Soros Foundation to talk about a plan to distract from the Clinton email scandal. And there's a statement where Obama said, I'm not going to have my president tarnished by the Clinton email scandal, suggesting to Comey and everybody else, you need to let this go. And at the same time, we now know from an email that Hillary Clinton, to distract from her own email scandal problems, set up the narrative that became Crossfire Hurricane, blaming Trump of being a Russian agent. And they planned this, coordinating between the campaign and this organization to create this storyline. That's what's new. I've never heard this before.
Well, what do you mean never heard this before? We were talking about it years ago, man.
I was going to say this is old. This is OBE, as we say, overtaken by events. This is old hat.
Yeah, like not only did we talk about it with the latest, declassification by Tulsi. Like I talked about it last week.
It's been a known quotient, man.
Yeah, but it's long been known that yes, this was Clinton made up political garbage that was then laundered through the intelligence.
Yep. To give it some legitimacy. Give it some legitimacy.
Exactly. And well, I'm just now hearing this that it was a distraction. Well, you should have talked to Maria Bartiromo. Don't you know her, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know all the women at Fox.
They love me.
But I mean, is this what they do? Is like Lindsay, like he just knows how to play ball for the team?
Listen, Joey, I've said this before after spending some time around state legislatures and with this SB 67. I think what happens is people have good intentions. People get there, and if you don't play the reindeer games, you don't get to participate in the events. And I'm just saying that almost everyone has been compromised to a degree. It's the nature of humanity.
Yes.
Think about it. So long as there's incentives to get a retirement for the rest of your life if you serve, and to have an unlimited expense account, basically at the expense of the taxpayer, we're going to get mercenaries. We're going to get mercenaries, not true public servants. That's what I think.
Well, and you get folks like Lindsey Graham that survive and survive.
Mitch
and
McConnell.
survive.
I mean, I'm disappointed in Kentucky. Some of their choices. It just, Mitch. Yeah, he's been there too long, man.
See, I am as much as Trump doesn't like him. I like Rand. I like Thomas
Rand.
Massie
I think he stirs. He's a poop pot stirrer. I like it.
Yeah,
but Mitch is really a disgrace. A disgrace.
Well, another political creature that was able to not only what's he compromised on, but compromise others. He was the guy holding the big bag of money, handing it out to the rest of the party.
Yeah,
and
in trouble.
I guess I've also got a clip of Stephen Miller. I don't really feel like playing it, talking about the Russiagate coup, one of the most egregious felonies after another.
Right.
And I'm like, I agree.
He's right.
Like, let's see some indictments.
Listen, and I hate saying it, but I for instance, this stuff with some of these agents that are getting assaulted by rocks and stuff. Why are we not using deadly force? Why are they not authorized to use deadly force? All these things come to a head that nothing ever happens. It's a big nothing burger a lot of times with all these high profile Epstein thing. It's going to be a nothing burger. There's nothing in there.
Yeah, you don't think Maxwell's giving up the goods?
I don't know. We'll see how it works. Well,
and it matters what
that's
she
the
is.
one wild card. That's what I'm
is
saying.
She?
What is she? What does she represent? What does she have to offer? And I'm saying to you, UFOs with our friend Lou, nothing burger, big nothing burger.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something there, but we'll never
right.
get to
and
there.
And we already know that they purposely lie in order to cover up something else.
That's their MO.
And they'll be caught in the lie on purpose. So everybody
go,
goes, "Oh, it's a nothing burger. They're just making stuff up." So while the real program,
disinformation,
like these guys are pros at all this.
That's what they do.
Now, just as a quick throwaway here, and this is South Carolina again.
Yes, it is.
And Lindsay knows this woman. Oh, I know her.
Shoot.
Reminds me of what I want to do. Reminds me of a scene in Fight Club with Meatloaf, but where you're crying and just. But Nancy Mace is running for governor of South Carolina.
I did see that.
All right, now
I
think she is. She's an opportunist, like most politicians. She's been caught on all sorts of different types of issues.
Sure, she has.
But she's got this
moxie. She's got some moxie.
Yeah, the je ne sais quoi.
Yes, right.
Or moxie. You can call it moxie.
You can call it wasta. We call it wasta in the Arab culture.
Right.
Wasta.
She's got that kind of that grin, that wink, that like she is clever. She's funny.
She's cavalier. I like
it. And she says, "God's not done with South Carolina, and neither am I." You and me, our mission begins now, she wrote on X. So maybe she's got a great national profile.
She does. She's got name recognition right out of the gate.
Has gotten into all sorts of fights. Remember the one day where she wore like a tight T-shirt with a big scarlet A on it?
I loved it.
I'm like, what is this?
Protest against Fetterman or something, wasn't it?
Right. I can't remember. Or it was because she made some dirty comment.
Oh, no, yeah, that's right.
And people complained about her clothes.
I was thinking about the one time when Fetterman in his sweatpants, sweatsuits, and all that stuff.
But she's a fighter. I know about that. President Trump said in a clip added to Mace's campaign launch video. You got to always love the campaign videos where, when Trump does the little, and the great Bradley Byrne. I love Bradley and all this stuff. Man. You know that's going to be in a campaign ad. I'm sure he said stuff about Barry Moore. Barry decides to run for Senate.
Yep.
I'm sure you're going to get some Trump backing Barry.
And Tommy, yes, my boy.
Oh, yeah. So, I don't know. Congress to governor? Maybe. High enough profile. Has an X factor going on beyond just the policies.
I think so.
They've already had, like Nikki Haley as governor for a time. So
it's true. There's a precedent set.
And DeSantis was in Congress for a while. He became governor of Florida, and a pretty good one.
It could happen.
So maybe Nancy Mace has
that would
legs.
That would be very interesting.
Well, she's got legs. I mean, politically, does she have legs?
Does she have the endurance legs? Yeah.
Does
she have Sydney Sweeney legs?
I don't know about that. I mean, they might be sister.
In a different world, in a bizarro reality.
So the top story real quick, and I'm going to have to talk to Erica Thomas about this on Thursday.
What's that?
The headline is intriguing. Russell County Butchery shut down by state, citing dangerous to public.
What?
Huh?
They cutting people up or making sausage or what?
It's a fairly long piece, but I'm just going to read it straight up.
I'm going to hear it.
For Ben Michael, again, this is written by Erica Thomas there at 1819 News. Top story there.
She's always good.
For Ben Michael, his dream was to open a meat processing facility in Russell County to make life easier for farmers and to feed his neighbors. In March 2022, that dream became a reality when he partnered with Kyle McMaster. We both had our own small farms and wanted to raise animals for ourselves, for meat primarily, but also trying to figure out how we could sell it to others, Michael told 1819 News. After crunching the numbers, the two put $6,000 together and leased a facility in the middle of the farm pastures in Seal. Yeah.
Seal.
Seale. I've never been there.
So. No, I'm going to find out where it is. I keep going.
It's in Russell County, I suppose.
Yeah, right.
However, context clues. Put it together, boys and girls.
I hope it does.
No, I'm sticking to my numbers. However, being in a pasture brought with it challenges, including rodents. Those rodents would ultimately shut down the facility for good, crushing the farmer's dreams. But Michael said the state has made it nearly impossible for a processor to stay in business and be successful. After being state inspected for approximately a year, the business became USDA inspected to sell to neighboring Georgia.
Right.
So they found evidence of mouse droppings and essentially shut us down for 5 days completely, where we couldn't do anything and we had to do a bit of paperwork, revise our pest control plan, and had a lot of back and forth with the district office in Jackson, Mississippi, who is kind of the primary oversight above the inspectors, Michael explained. And so after about 3 weeks of back and forth with submitting paperwork and getting requests for additional information, they finally approved us to get back under inspection. But a follow-up inspection found evidence of rodents, and the business was suspended for a second time. Michael said they put approximately $2,000 into repairs to seal up the building and took additional measures to resume slaughtering and processing. The Russell County Butchery has resumed work. Every time an animal was slaughtered, the USDA inspector had to be present. During a pig slaughter, the business was cited for an egregious humane handling violation due to an ineffective stun on a pig. So that was a really big violation for them, Michael said. So we received a suspension for that. The pig stunning protocols were closely examined and changes were made, allowing the business to resume work. However, Michael said it seemed they continued to receive non-compliance records. They were becoming more and more frequent, and they seemed to be more and more asinine, if I could describe them that way, Michael explained. And so almost like they were looking for things. And whenever we would ask about them, a lot of times the response we would get would be, well, I'm just doing my job. While the USDA did the inspection, the state declared the facility was a threat to public health. Michael told 1819 News the rodent activity was discovered on the floors in a hallway and a closet. He said mice were captured in traps, proving the mitigation was effective. Agriculture Commissioner Rick Pate told 1819 News the state has a cooperative agreement with the USDA to do meat facility inspections. He said this facility is the only one the state has shut down in 7 years. He said the state had to take extreme measures to protect the public. This was our last resort, and this has just crossed that line, said Pate. We can't allow stuff that's unsafe to enter the food supply chain. I mean, that would undermine everyone's trust in everything they ate. State veterinarian Dr. Tony Frazier said large rats and insects were found on the processing floor. This particular plant has had several noncompliance events over the last 2 or 3 months, said Frazier. So this has not just happened. We didn't just walk in there and all of a sudden shut them down. We've been trying to work with them, and their program for pest control is just not working. So what brought this to a head was a live rat was on like a glue board, sticky board thing in the processing plant. Okay. Frazier, a glue trap.
Yeah, the little glue trap.
Yeah. I woke up, we had mice problems in one house.
Yeah.
And
you hear something really odd, don't you?
Well, I woke up at like 1 a.m, got a glass of milk, and I felt something scurry across my feet. I'm like, what the hell was that? And then, put down a glue trap. Yeah. And at about 2 a.m, I start hearing, I'm like, oh my God, this is worse than it's scaring me.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, Frazier said that any sightings of rodents pose a danger to public health. Any sighting. When a mouse or a rat, when they're moving along, they are, and please excuse my language here, but they're urinating and defecating all along the way, Frazier explained. Excuse my language. How else are you going to say it? I can think of other
I
more
can, but
ways.
you have to edit it every time I do it, so I've stopped doing that.
They were peeing and crapping. We can say that, right? Yeah. So that's just how they know where they've been. It marks their territory. So that's why we have to take action. Rodent urine and fecal droppings can cause bacterial infections and disease, Frazier said. Still, Frazier said the state is willing to work with the Russell County Butchery to have them conduct another comprehensive cleanup and revise their policies to become compliant. Michael said customers never complained and understood the challenges of an older building with little technology. He said he felt they were just never able to meet the sanitation expectations of inspectors. When we asked them if there was any recourse for us to try to fix something to get open back up, they basically said that they have done all that we could, and this has been an ongoing problem, and that they don't foresee any way that we could address it sufficiently to reopen at this location. So the decision was made to permanently close the facility. We do believe that we were having a really positive impact on agriculture and just providing for our community. And so to see our customers and farmers and producers now kind of be without an option for getting locally sourced food, That's what's really frustrating to us, Michael added. Obviously, losing our source of income in a way to provide for our families also. I mean, we've really poured our heart and soul into it, and so we were definitely burnt out from trying to make it work, he said. Pate said the meat processing business has expanded in Alabama thanks to a $15 million federal grant that allows for low-interest loans. There are now over 100 processors across the state. See, I would need to know more details. Like, how do you keep getting the rats?
Well,
man?
think of this. Did you hear what he said? An old facility.
Yeah.
You've got it. Listen, and when they did their business plan, I don't think they probably figured that there would be a need for so much mitigation. Older buildings are prone to having so many ways for vermin to get in.
What tipped me off was a very early number. After crunching the numbers, the two, this is Ben Michael and Kyle McMaster.
Right.
The two put together $6,000 and leased the facility.
That's what I was saying.
$6,000?
That's listen
for a facility.
Not enough money to do operational oversight. Yeah.
Like
that just leases it. Now you got to do improvements to it and stuff. And I doubt that they had that money. There's two local farmers come together. We can slaughter our cows here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm speculating. And I think it was a great idea, but I don't think they foresaw the contingencies that might arise in this operation.
Yeah, like that sounds like the first mistake. And maybe they didn't have the capital together, and that's
possible.
fine.
It's very possible.
They had to do with what they could, but that's, well,
it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
The guys
because
trying to start a business, and
there's a part of me that's like, it's none of the government's damn business. If farmers in that local community want to trust these guys, want to eat that meat.
Did you hear what the key word was? It was in the very first couple paragraphs when they decided to do what? Business with Georgia, interstate commerce. Now you have a federal matter. And that is, you know this, Joey, that is the de facto answer for all things. When the government goes, well, there's interstate commerce involved. We have authority over it. Not really. It's not enumerated anywhere in the Constitution that you have that authority to do it. Oh, no, but there's transfer of goods, ideas, monies. Well, that's how they do it after the Reconstruction, after the War of Northern Aggression.
Well, and, of all things, my brother surprised me. But it's a great dream because right now he's doing like medical sales. I think he's in a business where he helps if, somebody needs a certain diabetes device. He makes sure it is processed through their Medicare and then talks to them on the phone. Is it working? Did it arrive? Like,
cool.
Any questions? Sort of this liaison, and it's a good enough job. He's more helping people direct now.
Sure.
But his dream apparently is to open a butcher shop.
That's cool.
And
we
it's
need
really
more butchers. We need more, but there's no good butcheries around here or delis. For that matter.
I mean,
American Deli doesn't count. That's the sandwich. I'm talking like a real delicatessen.
Yeah, the closest you're going to get to those Chappies.
Yeah, that's good. They're good, but I'm talking about where you can you can pick what meats you want cut there. And all
that. And like
that would be cool.
Like, I guess Pepper Tree is pretty good meat. Birch's got all right meat.
It is. Yeah.
But like, it's not the same thing as
Jewish
like
deli or like a Polish deli or Italian deli.
Or like, there's a franchise. I think it's called the New York Butcher Shop.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're great. They have all sorts of high quality stuff that's prepared fresh, and we don't have one around here.
So he wants to do, but he wants to be a butcher.
Yeah. So he really, and he's great. Like when he smoked a brisket or cooks a steak, he's very good at it.
Does he have any experience or training working? But that's just what he wants to do.
No, but he's smart enough and he's goal oriented enough. I think he figured out pretty quick.
He's got grok. Grok will tell him how to do it.
Yeah.
Just kind of like this.
Yeah. I don't want to see the first time he has to slaughter a whole cow.
That's what I'm thinking. It's have you ever been to a slaughterhouse?
No.
Okay. My wife's listening. She has, and I have too. When you go in, the first thing that hits you got tiled walls everywhere.
Well, I mean, I have been home. Yeah, I call it the slaughterhouse. But anyway.
This is a little different. It smells and reeks of blood and chlorine, of Clorox, bleach. And when they put him in, it's pretty gruesome, actually. Now I know why Morrissey was a vegan.
Right.
The Smiths, meat is murder. Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't fully buy that.
No, I don't either.
Tastes delicious.
God gave us dominion over the fowls and the creatures of the world.
So we got to hit another break. Be right back, folks.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Want that ride that is fun, affordable, and street legal? Check out ETG Outdoors in Montgomery. They have huge discounts on electric golf carts with many brand new units under 10 grand. New and used inventory, financing available, and they service what they sell. ETG Outdoors even provides lithium battery conversions and free delivery with purchase. Whether it's for the neighborhood, the farm, or just fun. ETG Outdoors, 7006 Vaughn Road, or online at etgoutdoors.com. Cruise smarter, drive electric. ETG Outdoors, your ride to freedom starts here.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again? Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools. I thought it was my stomach. People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, this is Carol Kennedy with Camo Country, and we've been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for many years, and we appreciate Blue Water Broadcasting helping promote Camo Country.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The risk of more tropical downpours will continue well into the evening hours tonight. They tend to fade out a little bit in the overnight hours. Low temperature down to about 70. Tomorrow, another very comfortable day with a high temperature only up to about 83. In fact, we may stay below 90 degrees for a high right on through Thursday. But there will be scattered to numerous showers and storms around each afternoon and evening, some producing locally heavy rainfall amounts. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Oh, Pamela is here early. So, let's do a little foreign policy real quick. What do you make of Trump now threatening not just Russia, but nations like India because they're not playing ball and helping him to end the Russian war? My sense is the Russians, for whatever reason, believe they're still in a position of strength. They ain't budging.
They do.
They'll settle that war on their own terms, no matter the efforts of the president. Yet, you got to wonder if Trump puts enough pressure on these places, do the Russians finally come to the table, still drive a hard bargain, but at least stop the shooting?
My thoughts are this. The Russian people are, they endure under incredible hardships. The sanctions have not worked at all. in my opinion. It has not deterred them one bit from what they do. I don't see a world where just cutting off the oil, the reselling of oil to India through that channel is going to stop Putin. The only thing that's going to stop Putin is a decisive defeat on the battlefield. And we could have achieved that 3 years ago, now 2 years ago. And I think we're playing catch up. And right now, I'll be honest with you, though, I don't see how they can subjugate Ukraine. I don't think they have the power. They've reached their full combat capability, and now it's just going to be a bloody war of attrition. And
do you foresee maybe they can grind and get Kharkiv and get Odessa? And
they very well. I don't think they'll get Odessa. They may get Kharkiv, but I doubt it. I'll tell you why. As the sphere shrinks, they're able to now bring more forces to bear. And oh, by the way, that mandatory conscription which started a year and a half ago is now starting to churn out new troops. And you see new equipment like the M1 Abrams. You got a lot more drones. And did you see what the policy was? They want to make 1,000 a day of these interceptor drones, which are going to be their shield. Yeah. And I think it's probably going to be very effective. We're watching very closely that development.
Now, in other news, Bukele, the president of El Salvador.
Yes.
It was like much to the chagrin of the New York Times and every, lib in the world, that how dare they say he can have no term limits. Like he can be elected, reelected, and reelected as many times as he won. And this just goes to show, again, he's just a dirty, rotten dictator. It's not like it changed it from a gang-ridden murder capital of the world to now one of the most peaceful countries that is also rising right alongside Argentina.
Sure.
But Nayib Bukele, however you say it, he's put out a response on the Twitter.
What did he? What did he say?
He says 90% of developed countries allow the indefinite re-election of their head of government, and no one bats an eye. But when a small, poor country like El Salvador tries to do the same, suddenly it's the end of democracy. Of course, they'll rush to point out that a parliamentary system isn't the same as a presidential one, as if that technicality justifies the double standard. But let's be honest, that's just a pretext. Because if El Salvador declared itself a parliamentary monarchy with the same exact rules as the UK, Spain, or Denmark, they still wouldn't support it. In fact, they would go ballistic if that happened. Why? Because the problem isn't the system. It's the fact that a poor country dares to act like a sovereign one. You're not supposed to do what they do. You're supposed to do what you're told, and you're expected to stay in your lane.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a very right-wing point. Like in South America, providing two.
Yeah.
One is a very libertarian economic model that Malay, it's working.
It's working.
Really working after years of socialism ruining that place. And then the other is even more right-wing of when you have a country run by gangs and everybody is, yes, you need to be the strongest person in the strongest gang, and you need to do it swiftly. And then you need to, as you lock those people up, also liberate folks and open things up and engage in the economy and create that stability. And like, that's the argument I've seen online for a while now. Like, say all of a sudden I tap you as the ruler of Haiti, lib. Like, what are you going to give them? Universal health care and a minimum wage? Is that going to solve the problem of Haiti?
No. Ass-kicking violence.
Yes.
That's what solves all the problems with that kind of stuff.
Right. You can't have law, the rule of law, until you have order.
You got to have you have to have a stable government. And oh, by the way, I'm surprised he didn't throw out, to listen to the New York Times, we're just a banana republic. That kind of mentality that, that's manifest destiny for America to tinker and tamper. But, heaven forbid we make an airstrike during the Iran-Contra, the Contra and the Sandinistas back in the 90s or 80s, we would go, oh, this is a banana republic. Yet they're advocating that he's a dictator and probably needs to be overthrown.
Oh, and there are a lot of people saying that it's not necessarily because you're poor. It's because you show what is possible with proper leadership.
Absolutely.
Without making absurd excuses. And of course, the New York Times is very upset indeed that this dictator down there is going to be able to be reelected.
He's extremely popular with his people, too.
Yeah, it's almost like if you take the country back from the gangs, people will support you. Even people that you wrongfully locked up and then you went sorry, And they go, you know what? I kind of get it.
Yeah,
I
now
wish
it's
I
safe to
hadn't
come out.
been.
It's
But
safe to come out.
like, people I think don't understand. I know you've been in parts of the world where you do understand more than the average bear.
Yeah.
But I think especially the average lib who's always lived in America, never been anywhere else, doesn't understand how bad it can be.
So Djibouti, which is probably the worst place I've ever been in my life. It's in the Horn of Africa, 75% unemployment. It looks like God. It looks like the first ring of hell in Dante's Inferno. When you go in, the ground is all baked and just like anthill. It's a crap hole. And I tell you, those places, subsistence, surviving day to day is a big deal. And now you've got El Salvador stable. They're getting involved in cryptocurrency and stuff and investments. They're prospering under his leadership.
Yeah, and it takes like some just sound. Like when I look at Africa, for instance, I've always thought if you bring property rights and rule of law, first you got to have the order, and I think it could work out just great. Though you get the classic like problems with the Nile's dry because Ethiopia is big
Sudan
dam
and all that. And the problem you got though is tribal societies that are traditional tribal societies do not adjust to the standard rules of law and order. Take a look at Rhodesia, which was the most prosperous country in all of Africa, but even greater than South Africa based on its agricultural output. Mugabe takes over. Zaire, Zimbabwe, he brings in a slash and burn, bring the people in, and just disaster. And the thing is, I had a conversation with a colonel the other day who was a British, and he said, we were perhaps the most brutal of all the empires, the Brits. Might I remind you about the Amritsar massacre in the 1930s, where 16,000 Hindus were killed at a parade ground when they opened fire with them with water-cooled machine guns? You think about that kind of barbaric activity. We don't see that much anymore. And for people to understand that, America doesn't do that. What America tries to do is export their cultural and their moral aptitudes to other people, and that doesn't translate. It just doesn't. It causes resentment, Joey. It causes hatred. It causes just despair.
Cool. We got to hit this very last break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Have you been thinking about selling your home? Let me ask you. Would you want to trust your biggest investment with a part-time agent? The kind who can't make your property a priority until after work at their real job? I'm Hannah Grantham, and you don't get that with us.
That's right. And I'm Eddie Bader. And if they're not focused 100% on your home, can they really even get you top dollar?
I couldn't agree more. We're top producing agents with a reputation for getting results. No side gigs here at Forest Meadows Homes and Land.
So call us today at 334-368-6358 and let us show you why who you have on your sign really matters.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Before I forget this part of the program, usually we talk to Ray Bowles on the radio over the phone, but he seems to be busy at the moment. So if you are looking for new flooring, Prattville Carpet has your back. Of course, brand new carpet. Maybe you'd like to have an area rug cut by Prattville Carpet. They can do that for you. Or it could be you want to lay down traditional hardwood, maybe the luxury vinyl plank. Or if you can use the ceramic tile for a new backsplash countertop or like a full walk-in shower, they can do all of these sorts of jobs. And of course, it all starts with a free in-home measurement. They come by, measure what you want to resurface, you pick out the product, they get it done, just that simple. But you got to call them to start the process. 285-8117. That's 285-8117. And be sure to tell Ray and the great team there that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. Pamela's here in the studio. I turned her mic on.
Oh, hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
It's not a gazillion degrees today,
I know.
so I feel like $1,000,000.
Tell them about our attire again. What have we got going on today? We've got all black on it. It kind of looks like.
My shirt is actually very similar to yours.
Yes, it's kind of got that.
Like,
It's not paisley, but it is floral.
It's floral.
I love
yeah,
it.
It's
It's
like
got
roses.
leaves. Yeah, but it's very cool.
It's almost the same.
We're
thing.
kind of, like I said, I
Yeah.
think we're in a different world. We were siblings, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like
And,
we are
military-
very kindred spirits.
We are.
for
we are,
sure.
and we're into
It's
strange
weird.
stuff. We're
It is
military, and
weird.
we're military.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, it is. Halloween, Valentine's. I guess what was it? Halloween, Valentine's was your description of you?
Yeah, if Halloween and
I'd say I
Valentine's
might
had a
be.
baby.
I would be Halloween. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, and also I just learned black looks good.
It looks like.
Well, and I'm just rocking a t-shirt, but it's not normal.
No,
It is a hemp t-shirt.
Oh, can you smoke it when you're done?
Yeah, not
In a
wish.
pinch. I don't like
No,
it.
but it's actually very,
She said-
it's very breathable. Like it's very strong, doesn't
That's
stretch,
wonderful.
doesn't tear, and like it's not hot.
That's a good
It's
base
strange.
layer.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's
Robin
really
wanted
works
me to
right.
remind you, and you already said it. Pepper Tree does have very good butchers. Jeff and Jeff Erner. Just so out there, Robin, we've already had that conversation behind the scenes, but we're talking about the butcher delis and that. But I hope your brother becomes a butcher. I'd like
Yeah,
to.
he
I'd like
really
to get
wants
some
to do
stuff
that
from him.
one day.
That would be cool.
So did we learn anything else today? We learned that whatever happened to the nerds.
Yeah, the revenge of the nerds. Nerds.
You know, because nerds should be about just nerd stuff. Like
They're
when did
not.
they become concerned with politics and political parties? And of course, I'm talking about the Bureau of Labor
We're
Statistics.
talking about statisticians, number crunchers.
Like stick to your stats.
Yeah, where did they
They
go?
don't wear the pocket protectors anymore, and they're very politicized.
Yeah, it's now I care about the Democrats, but it should be my
stapler.
numbers. Don't mess with my numbers. That should be the
Stapler.
mentality.
My stapler. My stapler.
Yeah, I'm gonna set the building on fire.
I guess that's it. I'm going to burn the damn place. That's a great show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, and
yeah.
the original Mike Judge cartoons
Yeah.
have been dropping.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like,
Yeah.
to
King of the
see-
Hill's coming back.
Yeah.
There is. I love King of the Hill.
Yeah, and I think it's
It's such a funny show because there's so many messages
Oh
in
my
it.
gosh. At my first job, I used to watch that every day on my 30-minute break.
That's a great thing.
Every
Good job.
day.
It's great. You ever seen the beer can named Desire? When they go to meet Bill Dautrieve's his gay uncle, he goes, "I'm the man of the house." The one guy. It's so funny. You would enjoy it. So much fun. Well,
Got to get out of here.
Thanks.
Thank you, Troy. Thanks for being here.
Sorry, I was a
today.
little late. A little
Oh,
tardy.
it's all good.
VA. So
y'all stay tuned. Pamela and Greg. Happy hour. They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.